fantastic action for you at Autopolis. Welcome along to round number 6 of the Sector 1 Season 8 Championship. I'm your host, Atom, hosting from over the ditch in New Zealand, but we are live from Autopolis circuit based in Japan for round number 6 here. Division 4 and Division 2. Group B drivers on track today, and apparently there is the possibility of some rain coming in today here at Autopolis. Weather forecasts are available on the Discord if you are part of that, so if you are not, click the link in the bio. You can join the Discord and get involved in the community at any time. If you want to get amongst the racing, there is a community series. You can join and be a part of it. That might be your ticket into the main game here, which we have on tonight. Group B action tonight. Drivers from Australia and New Zealand competing. Division 4 up first here at Autopolis, and Division 2 second on tonight. Division 4 standings as they sit right now. Snake Eyes leads the way for Respawn Esports, ahead of Sizzling Sausage and Wartime of Rocky 05 Sim Racing. His teammate Keza Johnson in 4th place there, with Renegade in P5 as well. Madrick finds himself in P6, ahead of Debrev, Laminator, Petey Pops, and Malevolent One, who rounds out the top 10. Womble RMR in 11th, the team owner for Red Mist Racing, ahead of Spitzy. Bogzilla, who has since retired from the season, and Bicep Nemesis currently sitting down the bottom of the grid. On points at this stage, but that is how Division 4 stacks up right now, going into round number 6 here at Autopolis. So a lot to lose and a lot to gain for some of these guys. A commanding lead for Snake Eyes out the top. It's really a battle for second right about now here in Division 4. But we'll see what goes on to change this evening. Respawn Esports, of course, the team's champions last season. The driver leading the way, and the driver in P6 as well. A strong challenge from the Rocky 05 Sim Racing team there in 3 and 4. Currently holding some great points in there on the way into round number 2. Tonight, I am joined by the fantastic Mr. John. Say hello, good sir.
How's it going, mate?
Not too bad, not too bad. Are you excited for tonight's racing? I hear you're pulling double duty, mate. You're going to be controlling the race here for Division 4 and then driving in Division 1 shortly after.
Yeah, it's something along the lines of that. Should be good fun. It'll be a good excuse when I don't perform good in Div 1 that I put more effort into my race duties, mate. My RD duties. So yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Alright, well I think it's about time we got qualifying underway. So I say get the lobby ready and let's go racing. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'll just double check everyone's ticked in on that, mate.
Alright,
yeah,
very
we're
good.
Looking all good.
Awesome stuff. Well, let's get that going. Division 4 action coming up for you. 10 minutes of qualifying to be followed by the feature race here at Autopolis Racing Circuit in Japan. Fantastic circuit, and one that inspires a lot of hatred from a lot of people, in fact. We'll have a look at it now, actually, while we've got it on screen. Here is the track for you, and you can see it's a very, very tight and technical track. A lot of tight, twisty corners. Racing soft tyres, the only slick tyre available to our drivers tonight. Intermediate and wet tyres also available. Chance of rain this evening. Now, weather forecasts have been put in the Discord and are available to the drivers, so they've been studying those and testing those all throughout the week. Make sure they are ready to rock and roll no matter what the weather throws at them. So, exciting to see what's going to happen. For Division 4, we will expect rain late on in the race. That's what we're getting from the forecast at the moment. No strategy to speak of for these guys this evening, because we do have just the one tyre available for our drivers here. But the wet weather will certainly provide a bit of a change up for our guys. So let's go to qualifying. Onto the track go our drivers for the first time this evening. First drivers on track for Division 4 here in qualifying. 10 minutes of qualifying for our drivers this evening. See the timer up the top, slightly askew. Look at the timer in the bottom left corner. Once that ticks over 10 minutes, that will be onto the last lap. Checkered flag will be out. So let's go through our grid for this evening. As we saw in the standings not too far previously. Sizzling Sausage here for Black Rose Racing. First cab off the rank, out on track. Halfway through his outlap as it sits. Keza Johnson for Brocchio 5 Sim Racing occupies, I believe it was P4 in the standings. Double check that. It is P4. God, I got a good memory. So he'll be looking to get himself within reach of the podium positions. You can see there on the livery as well, on the side of the car next to the Box of Beauty logos, Get Well Soon, Sean Ghost Muller. That's a tribute to a Sector 1 legend, a legend of the game, and someone who was an inspiration to not only me but many others to get involved in commentating and all that sort of thing when it comes to Sector 1. He was also a reason why a lot of people joined Sector 1 in the first place, because of his fantastic commentary ability. His hype was just a fantastic commentator and was really enjoyable to drive under. Sean is currently in hospital after some very serious operations on his heart. And there is a GoFundMe available, which there will be details about provided a little bit later on tonight if you do want to get involved and help out, support the cause. And it means a lot to everyone at Sector 1 that he gets well again. Down to Mad Rick for Respawn Esports. Third car on track at the moment, and he's 6th in the standings. Had some good results so far this season, but has been hamstrung by a couple of penalties. Looking to keep it clean tonight and get another podium for his tally this season. Laminator P4. Merlin liveried Lightning Motorsport car with 888 on the side. Snake Eyes, your championship leader for Division 4. Respawn Esports livery. Comfortably leading the way in the championship. Petey Pops, the Doghouse Racing team. Currently sits 6th. Had a good performance last time out. Be looking to emulate that this time around too. Spitzy in P7 for Kraken Esports, the black and orange. Beautiful car. Renegade, P8 for Hooncorp. Sole Hooncorp driver in this division after having a teammate in the form of Revs Law last season. Wartime for Brocchio 5 Sim Racing. Pink and blue. Brev for CP Motorsports. Appearance as always. Nemesis for ISA. And Womble RMR for Red Mist Racing, sporting a new looking livery. Appear to be something that we've seen before. Very loud livery, not uncommon for what we usually see.
As we see there, Snake Eyes resuming his normal spot up the top in Div 4, 7/10. Yeah.
Stamping authority on it
He's
already.
not too shabby.
No,
I bet against him last time, and I don't think I'm going to do it this time because I don't want to lose any more money.
No, it wouldn't be smart. He's got stand-in duties in Division 1 later on tonight as well, so it'll be a good warm-up for him, I think. Probably be looking at it and thinking, see how close we can get to their pace after getting warmed up here.
Awesome work for him to back up and do RD duties after his race. Got to give him that.
Yeah, he'll be hosting the Division 1 lobby as well as competing. So,
and I'll be nice to him because, yeah.
Oh, you know, he'll
That's
he'll
my
come
lobby.
He's well aware, I'm sure, of the concept of anything more than last as a bonus. Stepping up from Div 4 to Division 1 and team points is, you know, all we expect of you is you finish your race. All that matters, and I can say that because I am his teammate, and message that was sent out. So he currently leads the way. A couple of drivers over the line. No one improves as of yet. Let's see if the next one does. It looks like Madrick has improved, but not how far. Petey Pops goes to 2nd. Now that's a big one. He'll be happy with that for now.
We'll see. Snake Eyes has went into the pits. He's going for a new set of tyres straight away.
retiring from the session nice and early. Wartime.
No, he's
With an
ready to
improvement
go
up to
again.
5th, ahead of Madrick. Close gaps in this mid-pack here, by the way. 0.45, 0.045, 0.028, a 10th, 0.28 again. It's paper thin between these guys up here. The only outlier being Snake Eyes.
Yeah, from P2 all the way down. It's well from P2 to P10. It's quite close.
Does look very close. These guys are going to have to work for it. The slightest difference could change everything. And well, talk to me about this track, John. How do you feel about it?
Best off I don't really. Nah, it's an alright track. It's not up there on my list. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest. It's hit and miss for me. I've had some good results here, some bad results. But yeah, it's really tyre management around here. Tyre management will get you a long way. So it's alright to be quick for a lap, but you gotta make them tyres last your whole race stint. So yeah. I think we had Mad Rick just jump up there.
Yeah,
Only
that's
3/10 off. Yeah.
Lap from Mad Rick. Poppers improves again. Closes the gap, extends the gap to to Laminator behind. Two respawn cars up top. Hard to see from my point of view.
You'll find Laminator and Sizzling Sausage. They both jumped in for fresh tyres. So did Wartime. So the boys know the go. Want to lose some fuel, chuck some fresh tyres on. Go out there and give it your best.
A good shot on the fresh tyres. Not the only ones to do it. I'm sure they won't be the last ones to as well. Yeah, so this track, very tight and technical, twisty, and like you say, tyre management, but also very, very difficult to overtake on, isn't it?
Well, in my eyes, there's only two good passing points at this track, and even then, it's hit and miss. I reckon you've got the first corner, turn 1, get a good run, and if not, you've got a hairpin left in the back section where you can maybe make a move. But besides that, it's a very tough one to try to get a move.
You have to be pretty cautious going wheel to wheel as well, because it's not
Yeah.
the widest of tracks and hard to follow as well. Although we've got new slipstream settings that may assist us in that, and they'll be good round here. The weak setting, which will reduce the dirty air to a tolerable level. And hopefully that actually makes the time of the race.
We done a practice race earlier on, and I think me and Mountain Goat, we went side by side for half a lap. So yes, the new aero tweaks have helped quite a bit, or should I say slipstream settings have helped a bit.
Yeah, they've been good. It was really good to see it last time out. Now, if you're a constant follower of Sector 1, you may notice that we didn't have a broadcast last week for Division 1 and Division 3. Reason being, currently a bug within the game that allows tuning to be completed when it is outlawed within the settings in the lobby. So we postponed that round because it was too close to the time that the bug was discovered, and we weren't able to figure out a workaround. And unfortunately for us, the game developers have not yet patched it. They do have a patch. I believe it's scheduled for tomorrow. However, we do have to go ahead tonight because we did find a subtle workaround that reduces the chances of drivers actually changing. So, pretty confident that our drivers are all on level terms.
Yeah, the one good thing there with S1, and that's a good thing about racing in a league, not online, is you got a lot of trust in the boys. None of the boys are really going to cheat, or ladies too. Sorry if there's any girls in the league, but yeah, you got big trust. You trust the boys you race with. You know that they're not going to cheat, but it wasn't a good thing to come across in any league. You don't want to have to deal with the chance of people cheating.
Honesty is a big policy in
Oh,
racing.
Sizzling
Yeah.
Sausage up to P3.
That's it. That's the last qualifying laps done for a lot of these guys. Sizzling Sausage is finished. Laminator's still coming through. He's 5th at the moment. Snake Eyes improves and goes clear by even more. 39 flat for him. Looks like Laminator not able to improve the lap.
Oh, Wartime went quicker.
Improves, but does not improve his position, unfortunately.
I think we got Womble. Womble's still on a lap. Yep.
Nemesis not able to
Oh,
improve.
he's taking that.
Ooh. Really ran the qualifying session down to the wire. He does improve.
Oh, 3/10 quicker. That's
Not
a good improvement.
Quite enough to go clear of the Brev, but he does go faster. So, qualifying run and done. Let's go have a quick look at our standings as we head into the race. Qualifying results are thus. Snake Eyes takes pole position, not for the first time this season, with a 39.024 ahead of Madrick in P2 with a 39.429. 4/10 the difference between those two drivers. Then comes Sizzling Sausage for Black Rose Racing. Petey Pops for Doghouse Racing. A fantastic qualifying from Petey Pops there, actually. Seeing a resurgence in form in the late stages of this season. Really, really happy to see that. Laminator, P5, ahead of Wartime. And then Keza Johnson for Brocchio 5 Sim Racing, the second of the two Brocchio 5 cars. Renegade in P8 for Hooncorp Esports. Spitzy in P9, followed by Debrev, who rounds out the top 10 for CP Motorsports. Onboard RMR for Red Mist Racing in P11, and Iceland English P12. Completes our grid for Division 4 this evening. So 2 drivers missing this time around. And we go into this race with a pretty good idea of how Snake Eyes will do out the front. However, the mid-pack battle is as intense as ever. And if you remember, Madrick was fairly far down the standings. He was P6 in the standings, so he stands to gain a lot if he finishes in P2 from here. So definitely in a good spot, but he'll be keeping his eye out for the likes of Wartime and Sizzling Sausage, who are his closest competitors on track and in the standings as well. The other person in front of him, Keza Johnson, who currently sits down in P7, so good points for Madrick if he manages to clear those drivers by a fair bit all the way at the end of the race. But the race is hardly said and done as of yet. That's just qualifying, and that's 1 lap pace. And as John said before, 1 lap pace is one thing, but around a track like this, your time management is essential. Plus, we've got the potential of rain coming in later on in the race this evening. John, your predictions for the race today, what do you reckon?
Look, I didn't want to back the favourite last week, but I'm going to have to. I'm backing Snake Eyes here, mate. He's 4/10 quicker than the next, but I'm really looking forward to the racing, because from P3 to P9, they're pretty close, and yeah, that should bring us some good, nice racing, hopefully. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'm backing Snake Eyes here, mate.
It's very hard to look past them, I think. Yeah, Snake Eyes definitely the hot favourite going into this one.
Besides that, I'm backing Lemonator, mate. I got to back my teammates.
Teammate there.
He's my next
P5 at the moment.
up there. And I think if you remember last race for Div 4, he got P2 or P3. So
yeah, great result.
He's got the pace there. He's got the pace there. So yeah. Hopefully he's ready for this.
I'm just having a quick look at results. Last time we were at Red Bull Ring, we had a bit of rain for Division 4, and we had some serious changes, I think. Actually, it may not have been Div 4. It might have only been Division 3. Because I remember seeing Rebs in that race, and for some reason I thought he was Div 4. Probably because he was Div 4 last season. But if there was rain in Division 4 last time out, and it affected the results, the results were Snake Eyes in first, Bogzilla in second, who is no longer here. He has retired from the season. Wartime third, and Sizzling Sausage in fourth. Renegade in fifth. So, you know, it looks like some of these guys might be a little bit stronger in the wet weather, and that'll be interesting to see. So we'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that. But apart from that, we are ready to go racing. What do you reckon, John?
Yeah, mate. I'm ready to start it when you are.
Alrighty, let's get it going then. 28 laps tonight for our drivers here around Autopolis. 28 laps of racing, and we're expecting the last third or quarter of the race to have some rain come down. So definitely keep an eye out for that. But it's soft tyres all the way until there. The slick tyres will be the way to go. The first period of the race. See what our drivers can do to get themselves in the best position when the rain does fall. Everything will be left on the table. Here we are, to the grid. The drivers are staged up on the grid. The respawn cars lock out the front row. The lights are on, and we are about to go racing here at Autopolis. It's a good start from the Penrite car in third place there. Jumps Maverick, sizzling sausage to the inside. Might have a go at Snake Eyes here as well. Down the inside, Snake Eyes holds it very wide, takes a very conventional racing line, and sweeps around the outside of Sizzling Sausage there at turn number 1. A dominating run around the outside of that corner, and not something you see defended in such a manner very often. They're 3 wide in the background here into the second corner. Nemesis down in P8 now behind Wartime and Womble, who's made a great start there and got himself up to P7 after starting in 11th. And Wartime down the inside fights it back. Maverick down to 5th after a terrible start from second place, with Laminator, Petey Pops, and Sizzling Sausage in front. We go on board with Wartime here, following Maverick in 6th place. Pulls out of the slipstream just to get a bit of clean air over the car into the hairpin. Expect some intense racing from these guys in the opening laps until they settle into a rhythm. A fairly long race this evening, 28 laps, a bit longer than what these guys might usually expect. Now the drivers start to settle down a little bit. Bit of a split off from the first pack to the second pack. Womble leading the second pack. Acting like a bit of a cork in the bottle here at this point.
Womble's made quite a fair few positions there too, same as Isa. So both them boys have had a good start.
Isa's under attack here from the Hooncorp car too. Look at this. Renegade against his old teammate, Nemesis. Renegade, who used to be an Isa driver. Down the inside for Keza Johnson into turn number 1. They're going to be late on the brakes. And a great defensive run from Renegade there. Actually puts him well within range of Nemesis going into turn 2. We'll look for the move down the inside on his former teammate. Through the right hand they go. Great racing room given by both drivers here. Through the double left-hander and into the hairpin. A great defensive run from Nemesis to keep that position for now. Renegade a little bit wide. Opens the door for Keza Johnson once again. Number 24 car hounding the back of the Hooncorp car. They come through the long sweeping left-hander and up towards the hairpin. Now this is the second of the overtaking zones that John suggested for this track. No one close enough to lodge a move there, although a mistake.
Renegade nearly.
Nemesis. And Renegade nearly into the side of him there after a poor hairpin from Nemesis.
Yeah, he done
at this point.
Done quite good to pull it up and not make contact there.
Nemesis
Got to give
is
him
wide on
credit
the
there.
exit there. That's going to bring Renegade nice and close.
Got a little bit of pressure out the moment.
Nemesis is soaking it up though like a sponge here. Goes a bit wide again, but again,
he's sticking it up.
Gets through. He's looking to the inside there, but not able to make it happen. Snake Eyes drops a 39.0 on his first timed lap around here.
That's pretty scary.
Very, very quick. What sort of times are you guys doing up in Division 1?
Oh, I'm not Division 1 standard. Yeah, that's pretty quick for a first lap, and he's went 2/10 purple in the first sector, so yeah. I'm not saying he don't belong in Div 4, but yeah. No, he has
down the inside at turn 1, and he's managed to hold it, although Nemesis around the outside of turn 2 manages to get it back. There's a great battle between these two. The World Championship for 9th position rather, in Division 4 is as hot as ever. These guys are really going at it. It's great racing. Check in with the guys up the front. 1.6 seconds. The lead currently for Snake Eyes. Sizzling Sausage in second place ahead of Petey Pops, who occupies the final spot on the podium for now. Laminator P4, you'll be happy about that one, John?
Yeah, mate, he's doing an awesome job up there. Hopefully he keeps it up.
Madrick in P5 under serious pressure from Wartime here through the final twisting section. Wartime is all over the rear bumper of the respawn car right about now, and then there's 3.5 seconds to Womble behind, who has fallen off the pack a little bit. So there's sort of 2.5, 3 battle packs currently on track for this division. We've got the first pack, which consists of the likes of Sizzling Sausage, Petey Pop and Laminator. Womble leads the second pack. Little fight here between Madrick and Wartime, although they're just kind of putting their laps in, keeping their pace up. Then you've got the final pack with Nemesis backing up Renegade and Keza.
Renegade's past Nemesis, pretty sure. Yeah? Oh, nah, I take that back. I don't know. They just keep changing.
They're just going at it, man. You can't call it.
Yeah.
You go on board with Keza and have a look from the front bumper, and you can see here just how close these guys are willing to push the limits. And it's absolutely fantastic. There is absolutely no quarter given between these guys. Every corner they're going for something. Down the inside for Renegade. Goes deep though. Beautiful switch back for Nemesis. Gets it back.
Jesus.
Oh, saw it coming all the way to the ISA driver. And very, very well run to get that back. The Renegade has to live to fight another day. Looks to the inside again. Wide for Nemesis. Racing room given again. Now Nemesis on the inside of Renegade, and Renegade's into the grass, and he's into the side of Nemesis, and Nemesis goes off the track and loses 2 positions in one. Even down to 12th. Unfortunately lost a heap of time there, and now finds himself off the pack after a fantastic start. Got himself up to about P9, P8.
From, I think he was last or second last, so yeah, quite a big improvement there. Both the boys gave each other awesome room there. There was just a little bit of, you know, different corners, different lines, and it didn't work out.
Yeah, unfortunately Renegade ended up on the grass, and it wasn't really his fault. And at that point he almost became a passenger by the looks, and ended up in the side of Nemesis naturally. He just happened to be in the firing line. But up until that point, it was beautiful racing from those guys, and it was fantastic to watch. I'm almost sorry that it's over.
It made for great race, and both them boys were going hard. I don't think it's the smartest idea when you've got a long race here with tyres and that, but geez, it makes our job easy, just sitting there watching boys race. We don't have to do that much. It's great
for the cameras, isn't it? It's so good for the cameras. And I'm sure they'll be happy to have a bit of TV time tonight for that little battle. Awesome to see.
Unfortunate with Isa. Both the boys were racing clean there, but yeah, it is what it is.
These things happen in motorsport. We'll check it with our leader, Snake Eyes, up top, 3.7 seconds clear, settling into a rhythm now, and just pulling bus lengths on the field. Sizzling Sausage currently in second, leads Petey Pops by 7/10, not much between them. Petey Pops is cleared off from Laminator actually. Laminator's dropped off and is currently not within touching distance of that podium spot, and actually Mad Rick is, I wouldn't say he's closing in on Laminator, but that gap is not quite as big as it was before, and it looks like Laminator's had a pretty poor turn one there too, so he's dropping back a little bit towards Mad Rick. And I think Wartime's really playing a smart game here. I get the feeling that Wartime's got really, really good pace, but is electing not to overtake Mad Rick in order to save fuel and tyres.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away with any calls, but yes, we'll just say Mad Rick's looking pretty good. Yeah. So it looks, there's a lot of, so we've got boys who are looking good on tyres but not good on fuel, and then we've got boys who are looking, or everyone who's looking good on fuel but not on tyres, so it should be pretty interesting come pit time.
Yeah, exciting. So we don't actually know how long the stints are going to go for here in terms of soft tyre. What do you think, John? What are you expecting to see?
Well, I'm expecting the front boys to try to last for 14 laps, to do it in a one stop, but I'm not sure on that with the Div 4 boys, but anyone who can pull that off, Snake Eyes is a red hot favourite for that. But yeah, the two stops still doable because the pit lane here is pretty short, as you know. It's just mainly trying to get into it without dying.
Yeah, big chicane on the entry of the pit lane, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. And hopefully they don't have to tackle it when it's wet, because it goes from tricky to death pretty quickly.
Well, that's it too, isn't it? And the wet weather, should it come in, is going to seriously throw a spanner in the works for these guys, isn't it?
For these boys, it shouldn't really come into till it's too late, basically. But you never know. GT7 does GT7 things, and we could have rain for Div 4.
So, my suspicion, right, because we're expecting a little bit of rain at the end of the race. So my suspicion, with my limited knowledge of strategy, would be perhaps you shorten the first stint, so 14 laps would be halfway. Perhaps you shorten the first stint by a lap or two, on the assumption that the second stint is going to be cut short by rain, and you're going to be forced to pick for inters or wets. I think that might be the best way to go, but that does rely on the rain coming down a little.
I'd feel more confident doing that strategy in Div 1, where there's more chance of rain, than doing it in Div 4. Oh, Renegades. Kezza's up the inside of Renegade.
Go. Oh, Renegade loose on the grass as well. He's really throwing it around tonight. And Kezza goes through into P10, gets it back, because Renegade was in P11 and has now returned to P11 after that little battle. Yeah, Renegade's in the thick of the action tonight, isn't he?
Isa's off. He's out there cutting the grass, yes. It is very hard, this track. Once you fall off the pace, you
feel so out of sync. It feels terrible once you're behind.
Gotta try to concentrate, just set laps, as he's gonna try to do now. He's gonna refocus himself, get ready.
I want to keep an eye on Madrick here, because Madrick looks like he's got the jump on laminating, which is interesting considering the way this sort of race is played out. Actually, Madrick seems to have picked up the pace.
Honestly, between second and fifth, they're all quite close. I'm surprised after 8 laps they're still this close.
Well, Madrick had actually dropped off these guys by nearly a second and a half, and he's actually clawed it back some way, somehow. And in fact, Wartime's dropped off the back of him too. It looked like we were actually busy chatting and we missed an incident from Wartime. Not an incident per se, but perhaps a loose moment where he's lost a bit of time and dropped off the back. Although he's within a second now. I don't know where that's come from.
Yeah, they're gonna bunch each other up again here, I reckon. I think
go on board with Wartime as they come onto the straight, and into the pits goes Petey Pops by the looks. You see him slowing down for that chicane.
Ooh.
Here comes Madrick on Laminator to the inside. They will go.
Oh, Laminator just laid on the brake. Oh, and he's held it beautifully.
Madrick thought about it, but backed out at the last second. Laminator was fully committed to that corner. Great racing from the pair of them. Middle sector. Madrick into the back. A little bit too fast through that apex. No damage, no issues, no position changes. So play on. There's the referee. around up towards the hairpin. No one close enough for a move this time out. Wartime is once again all over the back of the Respawn Esports car. Pushing it for all he's worth. Poured back a big gap to get to where he is now. Compensate for the dirty air a little bit there, going a little bit offline. There's Wartime.
You can see the difference between the aero changes that we made midway through the season, or last round should I say. The boys can sit a lot closer to... Oh, everyone's jumping in.
So here we go.
Everyone's jumping in.
Look at that chicane. Laminator flies through it. Madrick much more cautious on the way in. That is an example of what the pit lane entry looks like. Snake Eyes continues around for another lap. So, you get the 14 laps to put you halfway through the race. But now the question is, how far do you go? How far does Snake Eyes go? How far does he take his tyres?
Well, Snake Eyes he's still got tyres for it. I reckon he might be able to make the 14 lap mark, but
4.5 laps from here, it's a long way. But his tyres would need to be, he'd need to have about 40% life left on his worst tyre, which presumably would be his left rear.
It's his left front, actually, believe it or not, and I reckon there's a good 30, maybe 35% left on it.
Sounds like he might go to 12.
Yeah, I reckon, yeah. The big ones, Womble. Womble's looked after his tyres quite well.
Snake Eyes will go around again. Womble's still going as well. So the first of our pitters, Petey Pops, and he is now in traffic.
The first of our pitters is Sizzling Sausage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And then you've got Keza, who hasn't pitted, behind him. Actually, Keza's tyres are beautiful compared to everyone else's.
Master pitted.
He's
got. Go there, 3 wide into turn 1 here. Oh, and they're deep as well. Oh wow, that was. I don't know what happened there. We're gonna have to check a replay of that. I don't know how that happened, but Petey Pops was deep. It looked like Debrev was deep as well, and it also looked like someone went off the track.
Oh, Wartime's deep again.
Madrick's off the back of Wartime by about 4 seconds. It's all chopping and changing now, and look at the lighting as well. The track is getting very, very dark, which could be a cause for concern for our drivers.
Look, I'm not saying that was a jolly old time, but $20 is $20. So yeah, we're
priorities in order. These guys.
Watching Laminator on Poppy here. Yeah, it's looking pretty close.
But Petey Pops has just gotten through. He's actually cleared 2 drivers in 1 corner this lap, and is now behind Keza, who presumably has also pitted once.
No, Keza hasn't pitted. No.
Just has good tyres for the life.
Well, better tyres.
Dark, dark clouds looming on the surface of the track there.
So on my screen, I don't know if it's playing up here, but we've got Snake Eyes who hasn't pitted, and then we've got Sizzling Sausage who has in P2.
Well, it's a 25-second gap. Oh, yeah, we've got Womble off in the background.
Someone's off.
It looks like he just went deep at the corner.
Ooh.
Just a straightforward mistake. No contact, no nothing. Will finds himself P6, having not pitted yet. Laminator cleared Petey Pops at one point in that lap. Petey Pops actually finds himself in P4 right now. Not a bad place to be.
No, both the boys are in a pretty good spot there. It's just they're asking a lot for their tyres to last 17 laps, I'm pretty sure, or 16. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I think that's going to be pushing it. Wanting to pit now, if not sooner, realistically, with the colour that the track is right now.
Yeah, look, it is getting we're getting a little bit of cloud over, maybe a little bit of mist.
Track looks a bit foggy, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully a little bit of rain to enlighten their
with
day.
50% on board, 50 litres of fuel. Madrick down the inside of Wartime, goes through on Womble as well. What a move there from the respawn driver. They're too wide in the background. Oh, wow. Oh, Madrick picks up some grass. He's on the inside. Manages to recover it. What a save from the respawn driver. Unbelievable scenes.
Oh,
just clipped the grass on the way in. Oh, the Rocky 05 cars are going at it now.
Yeah, Jesus. We've got Keza and Wartime.
Yeah, right on top of each other.
I'm on Wartime at the moment. I'm reading Boxer on the rear wing. I think they're going to box on. I don't know.
Could be something like that. He takes the position from Keza. Looks like they've had a little bit of team orders come into play, maybe. I'm faster, let me at him.
That old man Brocky may have had something to do with that.
Oh, we know Brocky. He's a strategist, if anything.
Yeah. Oh, Wartime straight away attacking Madrick, but so he's on.
Really backing up Wartime now. A lot of pressure down the inside, goes for a massive send, but backs out of it. This is threatening behaviour. This is so much aggression. I love it. This is racing.
He's going to have a run here. Send it.
Go inside.
Send
Madrick doesn't defend. Let's have a look at turn one. Madrick round the outside. Is he going to hold it super deep on the brakes for both of them? And the Brocky 05 car goes through into 5th place. That was a fantastic bit of racing. Super aggressive from Wartime, and he got the position for it.
Oh, Sizzling Sausage is in the wall. Lemonade is up in P2. What's happened there? We might need a replay there. He's stuck in the wall.
It's a disconnect.
He's gone.
Sizzling Sausage.
What? Jesus. Oh.
Where is he? Gone. I can't find him.
I'm stuck on him out the 1 sec. No, it's back.
Oh man.
So, Lemonade P2. Oh. Now he's. Oh, I don't like this. Now he's going to make me look bad when I don't finish this good in Div 1.
Yeah.
Nah, awesome work.
After this one.
Wait, nah, this is same as last week, but mate. Same as last Div 4. He done awesome. He was running P2 for most of it. I think he lost it right near the end.
He's
but
closed the gap to Snake Eyes too. However, he's going to probably have to make an extra stop, assuming the rain doesn't come in.
Nah.
Snake Eyes did make it to the end of 14, which is huge.
That was the aim of the game for Div 1 drivers, so I not suggesting anything, but I think maybe Snake Eyes might be in the wrong division. But I didn't say that. That wasn't me.
No, I think a lot of people might agree with you, although he has dropped to second. Net second on the road. Laminator takes the lead in Division 4 on lap 15.
Get him. Don't swear, John.
I can't hear the bias in your voice at all.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Oh no, he's going to hold on to it. We're going to go on board with Snake Eyes for this one. John, cover your eyes. It's Laminator versus Snake Eyes for the lead of Division 4. Snake Eyes with the fresh tyres having just come out of the pits. Look at the dark clouds in the distance. This could change everything should they decide to drop their load on the track. And here's Snake Eyes chasing down Laminator. Don't laugh at what I say, John. That's not funny. That was a very serious piece of commentary.
You set me up there, mate. You set me up. How can I not laugh?
No, mind meet gutter. John, 27 TCT, everyone. Your race director for Division 4. No, back to the action at hand. It's Laminator. Yep. It's Snake Eyes. It's 1 and 2. It's half a second. Laminator leads the way as they go through the final sequence of corners onto lap number 16. Snake Eyes with fresh tyres, driving into the gap, and he's going to get a run here on the straight. Laminator aggressively breaks the toe. Now, which way will he go? Will he go left? Will he go right? He allows Snake Eyes to the inside. Perhaps he doesn't see his fight with the championship leader. Deep on the brakes for Snake Eyes, and a little bit of a switchback attempted for Laminator, but he cannot make it happen, and the positions change. Snake Eyes retakes the lead on lap 16 and regains the front-running position in Division 4. Laminator wants to have a conversation about it, though, pushing him ever so slightly into the second corner there. He's going to stay as close as he can here, I think.
Laminator needs to, try to follow Snake Eyes and get rid of Pop Eyes behind him. Sorry, I get his name confused because he's... don't listen to me.
He's got 2.5 seconds to play with here, does Laminator, but with the benefit of the slipstream from the respawn driver in front, can he increase that gap?
He can run away with that gap. He's got better tyres too.
There we go. Strategy tip. Better tyres for Laminator right now. In fact, let's move over to our APR Automotive tyre and fuel update. John, run us through our current tyres and fuel, mate.
So we've got Snake Eyes, and this is another reason why he should be in a division up, because he's got brand new tyres. He's probably got about 5% wear in all his tyres, and his fuel's looking at about, we got about 62% or something. Then we jump back to Laminator. Awesome bloke, this bloke, my teammate. Can't thank him enough. He's a great bloke. He's looking at about 45% on his front left, and the rest is maybe his rear left is about 45 too. The rest is about 30%. So he's chewed a bit of tyres. Popeye behind him, he's chewed probably an extra 10% on his front left. So Laminator's got the better tyres over him. Then you've got Wartime. He's sitting with similar tyres to Popeye. His front left is a little bit better, a bit like Laminator's. Madrick's got the best tyres in the group besides Snake Eyes. So his tyres are about 30%, maybe 40 on his rear left. We've got, I'm pretty sure this is Spitzy, the old Spitzer Rye or whatever his name is. His tyres are quite worn a bit. He's looking at about 50% on his fronts, about 30 on his rear.
That's the worst tyre wear so far, isn't it?
Yes. So he's chewed a bit of tyres there, not going to lie. I think he pitted early, if I remember correctly. Then we've got our Debrev. Debrev's got lovely tyres. His tyres are looking beautiful. He's most...
Renegade here.
Oh, I have to. Oh, he's going to sorry. He's going to message me about this, not happy I missed.
Yeah, so how are his tyres?
His tyres about, his most warm ones, his front left, like most of the boys. About 45, maybe, about 48, 45%, and the rest are pretty good, looking at about 30, 35. And D-Brev, we already went through him. He's got beautiful tyres, because I accidentally missed Renegade. Then you got Keza, he's got brand new tyres basically. He's got 10% worn max. Womble's the same, but if you remember early on in the race, I said Womble had beautiful tyres, so he's kept it going through his second stint, looking after them tyres real good. Isa, he's chewed his tyres a bit, not gonna lie. I think if I was him, I'd be praying for rain and to go chuck on a set of intermediates or something to fix this problem. But as I said before, it's a bit hard when you lose focus, like you're not with the group of boys, so it's a bit hard to keep yourself focused and yeah, looking after your tyres, following the boys.
Very good. Well, that concludes the APR Automotive Tyre and Fuel update. Down to 11 drivers now. That Sizzling Sausage, I think it was, has disconnected, unfortunately, in the mid-stages. Now, what seems to be developing now is a one-stop and a two-stop strategy. We've got Snake Eyes, who pitted at the end of lap 14, which is dead on halfway through the race. And the likes of Nemesis, who, if you look at the time deltas, pitted at the end of lap 9. Now, my maths isn't fantastic, but if my maths is correct, 9 goes into 28 3 times, which means 3 stints of 9 is 2 stops. That's the strategy that he's on. And 14 goes into 28 twice, which means 1 pit stop for 2 stints of 14 laps. So Snake Eyes is running the tyre conservation strategy. The others are running about 9 or 10 laps. In the case of Laminator, 9 laps, running a 2-stop strategy, which is really, really exciting to see, actually. So it'd be interesting to see how these guys fare going on. It looks to me like Snake Eyes has really got this one sewn up, because the closest driver to him owes another pit stop based on what we're seeing. Snake Eyes is, in theory, based on what we saw from him in the first stint, good to the end. So,
yeah,
showing pretty clearly that one-stop strategy is probably the way to go.
So look, Lemonade, if he may be able to pull off something to make these last, but I doubt it. So he's looking at pitting, and Popeyes, he's not looking as good as Lemonade. So if Lemonade is pitting, so is Popeye. Wartime, he's in a similar boat. Lemonade is in. He's pitting in P2.
Well. Check out this chicane. There you go. A very, very tight chicane to get in. Maverick
I will confirm, Maverick, I don't think he's going to pit again. He's been looking after his tyres. I think he can push it out and go the same as Snake Eyes. And we've got one more.
How do his tyres compare to Snake Eyes right now?
Look, a bit different, not gonna lie. I'd go a good 20%, maybe 30. But if you look at the laps left, I think Maverick can go without stopping. He's the first of the ones besides Snake Eye who
Maverick
can go without
might be
stopping.
On rain with about 4 or 5 laps to go.
And then you've got I think Debrev. Debrev's looking out like he might not stop again. But Lemonaders came out in front of him. So, and Lemonaders is about to pass Spitzy. They're fighting right now, and he's sending it up the inside. Oh, lovely. Pull it up. Oh, pull that up.
Oh, good switchback from Spitzy.
Jeez.
Manages to hold on to it. That's tragic for Laminator.
He's got the brand new tyres.
Oh, no, contact down the hill.
No.
Redresses the position. Gives it back. Lovely sportsmanship from the pair of them. Well, from Laminator, really. Spitzy didn't really have a choice in the matter. Laminator will run around the outside and gets through in the end.
Look, he tried that the cleanest he could, so maybe a report about that.
But it looked like he didn't take advantage and take the position at the time of the incident, but he was very quick to jump on him almost immediately after.
Wartime's in, so Madrick, as I suggested, up to P2. I swear he's going to try this one stop. Jeezy pitted early to do it, but we'll leave it with him. He knows better than us.
Oh, he's
no.
Look at this. He's got it locked
He's drifting.
down. It's just extra rotation into turn 2. Look at this guy. That's fantastic.
I was literally on board with that, and that was scary.
Technique. The Maverick slide. I love it.
So what do we got to look at?
Sideways, turn it in.
Well, it was 9 seconds, and it's down to 8.3 within 2 corners. So Laminator may be on here.
Yep. He'll likely have better pace. I suspect a lot of that gap coming down would have been from that mistake from Maverick.
Yes.
But Laminator is continuing to close the gap here. He's on a personal best lap too.
He's got brand new tyres. The world's his oyster, mate. I'm not saying he should be quicker, but $20 is $20, mate. I'm not allowed.
In P4, you can buy a lot for $20. Debrev in P4, 10 seconds behind Laminator. In fact, so there was a car behind Laminator, but they appear to be a lapped car, so that must be Renegade, not Renegade, Nemesis. Nemesis for ISA Esports, currently sitting P11, little way off, unfortunately. Laminator gets through on the back marker. Now going to Maverick. That gap is coming down quite significantly. It's now down to 5.7. 6 tenths faster for Laminator there. That was a huge PB.
I don't know how Maverick's going to hold him off here.
If it rains
really
in the next 2 laps, it's gonna save Maverick. Yeah, but it looks like it's a matter of when and not if.
I think it's going to save a lot of people. And you've got Wartime on way better like brand new tyres, and Debrev on ones that are, they're about due.
Laminator is on an absolute warpath here. He was purple through the first sector, and he is driving into this gap between him and Maverick. It's now down to 4.5 seconds. He is flying in that Lightning Motorsport car, pushing the limits of the track every corner. Let's see his sector split as he approaches the hairpin here. Is he still purple? Not quite, but he's pushing the limit every which way, and that gap to Maverick is continuing to come down. 2 now. 4.2 now, the gap, and continually coming down corner by corner. Laminator will fly through here. This is the tightest, twistiest section of the track. This is where all the gains will be made. Let's jump on board and see how he does it. Kisses the apex on the left. Onto the brakes and drive it through on the right hand side. Less than 4 seconds the gap now. Floor it on the way up. Just a lift through here. And then back on the power. Switch it over to the other side. And then hug the inside for this one. Pull it in nice and late. And then floor it. Cut the exit here. Not quite cutting it as much as he probably could have there. But down below 3 seconds now is the gap. He is clawing time out of Maverick. Let's have a quick comparison. Last lap for Laminator, 39.260. Last lap for Maverick, 1:42. That's 2.5 seconds a lap, which means Laminator will be on him at the end of this one. And John now becomes a quotable part of the Sector 1 Sim Racing commentary team with his $20 is $20. Which indeed it is. It's a factually correct statement. I don't know who would knock him for that one. Race now with Maverick. Ahead of Laminator by 1.5. It's a second down already this lap. On board with the respawn car. Looking back at the Lightning Motorsport car. John, what are your thoughts on this battle at the moment?
Oh, sorry, mate. Sorry, I've been muted. I'm watching Laminator. Go get P2. Really? I think it's awesome. Awesome.
There we go.
Different show. I didn't think the 2-stop would come into play as much compared to the 1-stop, but the boys in Div 4 have shown that it's capable.
Looking pretty valid right now. Big gap up to Snake Eyes up the front. Bit of lag through there.
Oh, yeah. Pretty. But watch this run, mate. Watch the
lightning.
Oh,
my goodness.
Oh, not.
A little bit of contact on the way
Maverick's
up.
in. Madrick, you had enough tyres to fit. No, he didn't. He didn't. Oh, that rear left was dying. Fair play to him coming in.
That's why he had to come in. Now, the question is there rain coming down? There might be rain on the radar, but there's none falling as of yet. I don't see any wipers going for...
Popeye's got the radar up, and I'm not seeing nothing coming up, but geez, there's a fight happening here. P3, 4 and 5.
Alright, we go on board with Petey Pops. Ahead of Madrick now. Madrick's dropped to 6th place after that. It looks like it's almost a bungled strategy because he's pitted with 4 laps to go, or 5 laps to go, which really shortens his final stint. Wartime is throwing Morse code on the rear bumper of Debrev as Petey Pops throws it down the inside
no.
And there's a car off. That's Wartime, who's gone into the grass and drops off the back of the group. Spitzy now will take the place. The yellow flag. Who's that off the track? Is that... Oh, that's the ISA Esports car. It's the back marker. No one in this battle has lost out as of yet. You thought it was Laminator for a second.
Yeah, I did. I was about to I was about to cry.
Oh, no.
Debrev's pushing his hardest here, mate. He's got no tyres left.
This is so intense between these guys. And loose for Debrev. Madrick takes advantage down the inside, and Petey Pops is in P3. Petey Pops on the podium as it sits right now. Spitzy will look to take advantage around the outside. Debrev is off the pace through this section. Those tyres are really, really hurting him right now.
He might have
to the final sector.
He might have to pit there. That front left is gonna say no after about another lap.
It looks like some of these guys were counting on the rain coming down, and it just hasn't happened for them. Still, the wipers do not go on Spitzy's car.
Spitzy's gonna chuck this up there.
Down the inside for Spitzy, the Kraken Esports car on the CP Motorsports car, deep on the brakes. It looks fantastic. It is fantastic. Spitzy into P5 here in round number 6 at Autopolis for Season 8, Division 4. Purple through the first sector as well. That toe down the straight really helping him out. Madrick is still in the hunt for the podium here. He's chasing Petey Pops, but Petey Pops has proven to be a masterful defender this season. We'll see what he can do from 3rd in the standings right now. The pressure is on. It's late in the race. The rain is still threatening.
Madrick's got brand new tyres. Petey Pops a little bit used, but he's still got tyres there.
Petey Pops might be slightly slower for pace, but it's not going to be catastrophically so. Madrick is still going to have to invent a move somewhere here before the race is over. 2.5 laps to go. Sorry, 3.5 laps to go here at Autopolis. Do not go anywhere. Grab your popcorn, your caramello koala, your garlic bread, whatever you've got there, and get to snacking. Sit back and relax and enjoy the show. This is going to be a battle for the ages, for the last step on the podium here in round 6 at Autopolis for Division 4. Madrick, half a second behind Petey Pops and chasing on the better tyres. Petey Pops putting up a defence so far, and as he gets closer, he's going to be cutting the inside.
He's got a nice run.
Look at this, he's thinking
got
about
a nice run.
The gamesmanship is starting already. Petey Pops is doing everything he can to keep this position. What will Madrick do? Into the first corner, dips his nose to the inside, but no move being made this time. Six-tenths the gap as they head to turn 2. Still not close enough. Madrick might be losing the grip that he had in excess.
So it looks like no one's risked it on fuel. I did not say that right, don't listen to me. Everyone's pretty good on fuel except Laminator's good, but he's pushed it the most.
He's got the lowest fuel out of everyone, does he?
Yeah, he's out there scooting.
That means probably the lightest car on track, so very quick. Still 26 seconds the gap to second, so I think Laminator is just going to have to settle for P2 in this one, barring mistake from Snake Eyes.
I know I'm going to hear about that, what I just said at him.
I think you're going to hear about a lot
Yeah.
of things, mate, but I've
Yeah.
enjoyed having you here, and it's been great entertainment, and I hope you've been enjoying this race as much as I have, and it's only going to get better from here.
Oi, Mad Rick on Popeye. It's heating up. Yeah, no, I did warn you that it's race night, so I may have a couple of beers.
Who wouldn't? Who wouldn't on a Sunday night? Let's have a good time. I hope everyone in chat's having a good time. Checking out the action. Here's the battle for
Mad Rick, yes.
It's very close. 2.5 tenths the gap. Petey Pop's breaking the toe down the straight. Moving every which way. Mad Rick's got to think about what he wants to do here. Deep on the brakes. In the turn one. Close the gap. Take the conventional racing line.
Yes,
Petey Pops, you've stitched yourself up there. You might open the door to Mad Rick. He's close now, but not close enough. Petey Pops will defend into turn 2, surely, as Mad Rick tries around the outside, but doesn't go aggressive enough. Petey Pops holds on for now, but the pressure is on. The Doghouse car leads the Respawn car, the sister car of the current race leader.
Mate, just like to point out Lightning Motorsport in P2. Looking real good there, mate.
It's solid. 20 seconds the gap as well. Let's quickly run through where everyone's at the moment. Snake Eyes leads the way for Respawn Esports, comfortably out in front, and can just sort of cruise home now as he starts his final lap. Laminator, P2, also comfortable where he is. Petey Pops under pressure in third, occupying the final spot on the podium here tonight. Mad Rick piling on the pressure with Spitzy and Wartime, who throws it down the inside of Spitzy here on the second to last lap. Wartime up to 5th place now. Can he go in pursuit of Wartime, of Mad Rick and Petey Pops rather? Hita in P7, a bit far back to make a difference from here. Debrev in P8, Womble in P9, comfortable where he is. Renegade in P10 with a lap advantage to Nemesis behind. But the real battle right now is Mad Rick versus Petey Pops. They're still as close as ever, but it's not going to be close enough for Mad Rick this time.
I don't want to give any ideas because I love the Brocchio.
Oh no, Mad Rick follows him off. They're both compromised. Spitzy's going to have the door open to him behind, but he's lost time because he's overtaken Wartime back round the outside for Mad Rick. Petey Pops holds the inside. It's a great run for them, and that's brought the two behind right into this battle. It's now a four-way scrap for the third step of the podium. There's 4 cars battling it out. Mad Rick tries to take a better line than Petey Pops. He's compromised on the inside. They're so close here. Wartime in 4th place.
No!
There's contact between Mad Rick and Spitzy finds himself off the track. We didn't quite catch what happened there, but it's down to 3 as they come through to the second half of the lap here. Snake Eyes takes the win. We're going to miss the win because this battle is so intense. Congratulations to the Respawn Esports driver who ran a dominant race from start to finish. It's now down to 2 of them. Petey Pops ahead of Mad Rick. He's going to have to defend for all he's worth through the last seconds of corners. Mad Rick's going to have to get super inventive here and create something out of nothing through the final sector. Laminator will take P2.
Awesome work, Laminator.
Lightning
awesome
Esports,
team,
Lightning Motorsport in 2nd place there. They're into the last seconds of corners. Wartime might be able to get a move on Mad Rick here. It looks like it's going to finish as they are. Wartime in 5th, Mad Rick in 4th, Petey Pops in 3rd. The podium is rounded out with the Doghouse driver as they come across after 28 laps of fantastic racing. Petey Pops takes P3 ahead of Mad Rick and Wartime in P5. Keza in P6 and Spitzy, who came out worse off in that battle, finds himself in P7. An unfortunate result for him. He'll be absolutely gutted with that one.
Mate, Popeye holding off Mad Rick in the tyre difference. The Popeye's down to like 30% left. Mad Rick's got brand new tyres basically. For him to hold him off for the last 3 laps, that's awesome. That's an awesome drive. Yeah.
What a battle between the pair of them.
I'm still going to give my driver day to Laminate. No team. Nothing.
Well, in fairness, it was an excellent result.
He done an awesome, mate. He didn't qualify P2, but he finished there. So, yeah, it's a tough one there. Like, you can't give it to Snake Eyes. He's too good. good for Div 4. You just can't.
Well, in fairness, you look at the fastest lap of the race, 38.9.
It was only by a bee's...
Yeah,
a bee's
a
thing.
bee's stinger, yeah. The Australian in you's coming out a little bit, mate.
Yeah, I know.
I've just offended the entire country there with that one.
Oi, don't do that, but for once they'll be on my side.
So, Snake Eyes takes the crown in Division 4. I think that might secure him the championship as well. Someone in chat might be able to correct me. That might be Division 4 signed, sealed, and delivered for Snake Eyes here in his only his second season here at Sector 1. Laminator in P2. About 26 seconds down, but found himself 20 seconds clear of Petey Pops. So clearly a fantastic performance from him in this race. Laminator, hold your head up high, mate. If it wasn't for Snake Eyes, people would be saying you shouldn't be in the division as well. No,
yeah, well, I was already saying that.
Yeah,
but,
well, I tend to agree as well. You know, I feel like the true Division 4 was between, you know, Petey Pops and the guys behind him. That was really...
Nah,
really
Laminator, mate. Laminator.
Laminator's Division 3 at this point.
Nah, Div 4, mate.
him.
Don't be like this, Atom. Do you want to go? Nah, I'm joking. I better not start her.
No, I love it. The Petey Pops in P3, and just clear of Mad Rick with a fantastic battle at the end of the race there. Wartime in P5, Keza in P6. Spitzy came out worse off in that battle. He was contesting for that third position with the rest of them in the late stages, but unfortunately ended up off track and lost out to Keza. The Brev in P8, ahead of Womble, Renegade, Nemesis, and Sizzling Sausage, who unfortunately was not able to complete the race tonight. But a fantastic race, up and down. Really exciting in that mid-pack. Thanks to the drivers for putting on such an awesome show. And honourable mention as well to Renegade versus Nemesis. Stages.
That kept us entertained for quite a bit, them boys. They were fighting it out, keeping it real clean. I think they might be a bit upset with how it ended, but they were both racing fair and hard, just there was a little bit of a rub and it didn't work out. That's nothing to any of them driving wrong there. That's just racing, unfortunately. What can you say?
How it goes
$20 is $20.
Third time's the charm, mate.
I've
get
got
your
to
driver
jump
of the
off.
day nominations in there in the chat.
Oh yeah,
What's that, John?
Lemonator.
Yeah.
Lemonator. Driver of the day. Carbonboy can come take over for me. I got to go. Lemonator, driver of the day. Snake Eyes needs to go to Div 3 or Div 2, maybe even Div 1.
Well, he is going to go to Div 1. He's about to race there tonight, which unfortunately we won't see on the stream. But good luck to him.
No, but there was some good racing tonight, so that's good fun. It was awesome work. Hopefully I wasn't too bad in the comments box. Thank you very much for
your work tonight, John. Chat, please get around John. Wish him good luck for his Division 1 race tonight. He is probably going to need it, aren't you, John?
Yeah, well, when rain's involved on Gran Turismo, I'll leave it as that. You boys have a lot. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in. Thank you.
Pick some, have fun, and we'll see you a bit later on.
Till next time. Thank you.
Welcome back, Sector 1 sim racing fans from Australia, New Zealand, and around the world. We are back and we are ready to go for Division 2, the second of our Group B races this evening here at Autopolis. We had a fantastic race in round number 6 here for Division 4 just now. If you missed that, make sure you go back and watch it later. But just now, we are about to go racing for Division 2 here at Autopolis as well. It's going to be a great race here if it's anything like Division 4. But before we do get involved in that, I have to introduce you to my couple of guys who are in the comms box with me. First of all, we have Carbonboy. Have you joined us, sir?
Good evening, everybody. It's good to be back.
Right, and we also have Karen in the comms box this evening, who has a special announcement for the Sector 1 sim racing community. So take it away, Karen.
Well, first of all, these new chairs are fantastic. So I must say, Adam, they're plush in the comms box. You guys get spoiled. Anyway, that's not why we're here. We're not here to announce brand new chairs. We're here to bring up something that's very, very close to our hearts in the form of one of our all-time legends of Sector 1, Ghost, aka Sean Muller. We won't go into great details, but long story short, on Anzac Day, he did fall very, very ill and ended up undergoing a very, very long process of open heart surgery. He's had a aorta rupture and also has heart disease. So if he never went into the doctors and they found this out, it would never have been detected. So he's a man that's devoted so much time, effort to the Sector 1 Sim Racing League over so many seasons. He's given us so many incredible moments. The clutch right from GFL back in the Thrill House days. Some of the biggest calls in racing. We've heard the clutch calls, of course. Absolutely brought the heart and soul of Sector 1 to the streams and laid the foundations for what the program is today. Also a two-time champion of Sector 1 as well. He's an absolutely phenomenal racer. Very, very passionate bloke about our league too. Racing for Ragged Edge Racing, of course, CP Motorsports as well. A little bit of racing with Blacklight as well back in the day. And he's a guy that we genuinely love. It's undergoing a big battle at the moment, and we've done so well to get around him. And for this, I'm going to cut to our friend here, Carbonboy. What can we do to help Sean in this big battle? Because it's huge.
Well, I'm not a huge fan of asking for help, and I'm sure I take after Sean a little bit in this regard. But if you do wish to lend your support to him, there will be a link in the chat and a link in the video description to the GoFundMe that has been set up. The money will go directly to Sean to assist him with the necessary aftercare that is most certainly going to be involved after an operation of this magnitude. There's so many things that aren't covered by Medicare in Australia. I mean, we have it pretty good, but it's really to help him recover, get back on his feet, and be able to cope with the new life that's going to be in front of him, because this is a life-changing event, no doubt about it.
Yep. And I must say as well, in terms of the GoFundMe, I'm not sure if his family is watching at this point, but they did let us know that it went underway early on this weekend, late Friday, early Saturday, and within 24 hours we'd raised $9,250, which is an absolutely Herculean amount, and many people from all walks of sim racing, not just that, but family, friends, anybody that knew Sean very, very well, and has donated to the cause. And I can say right now we are at $11,975, which is an absolutely astonishing effort by everybody that has donated. We've had people, even just chip in $5, all the way up to people donating $1,000 for the big fella. So, he's very, very passionate bloke, loves his footy, loves his sim racing, and we We want to see him get better soon. We want to see him fight like the fighter we know he is. And yeah, so the link for his GoFundMe I've just posted in the chat as well, guys. And yeah, just smash that like button as well, and even just put in a word of encouragement for Sean in the chat. Get well soon. Any well wishes that he might see in this stream as well, because I can tell you right now, the big fella, we do miss him quite a lot, and we're looking forward to having him back in the Sector 1 area very, very soon. So keep fighting, Sean. We're all behind you, mate.
Add a little bit of levity to what is a very serious situation. In the words of John, as was heard many times in the first race this evening, whether you're thinking about donating $1 or donating $1,000, in the words of John, $20 is $20. Every bit counts. So if you want to be part of it, don't be afraid to. Every little bit will help. So we will move now to our second race of the evening here at Autopolis. Thank you very much for your words, Karen and Carbonboy as well. You guys, clearly, it's clearly so much passion about all this here at Sector 1, and it's great to hear.
Yep. Speaking of thank yous, I better thank everybody for the time as well, just to talk about this very big issue. Make sure that, yeah, just get behind the big fella as best as we can, and I better step out of the comms box and back into the NSX. I'm sort of in the race suit here, and it's a bit uncomfortable, so I will catch you guys on the flip side.
Alright, I hope your bucket seat's as comfy as our commentary booth chairs. Good luck in the race tonight, mate.
Alright, go have a good call, guys, and smack that like button in chat as well. Don't forget to subscribe, and of course, yeah, let's get behind everybody, and especially Ghost tonight.
Karen, just getting your race seat, mate.
I'm on the way. I'm on the way.
Alright, qualifying about to begin for Division 2 this evening. Let's have a quick look while we get that underway at our Division 2 standings here. Dadson leads the way in Division 2 after winning last time out at St. Croix C, ahead of Evil Evo, Lunacy, and Old Wakey, who also had a fantastic race last time around. And Blind Man in P5 there. Stickers in P6 for Lightning Motorsport. Another Lightning Motorsport car on the grid tonight. Timderags in P7. Mr. Bumcrack, or the Plumber, as he was dubbed in the past by our very own Sean Ghost Muller, who we were just talking about as well. The Plumber there. Black Friday. And Race Fan rounds out the top 10. Karen Unleashed in P11, who we just heard from as well. Pat Star in P12. And Maverick P13, who I believe is sitting out this round as well. So we are ready to go racing for qualifying here for Division 2. Shall we get this underway, Carbonboy?
Sorry, slight problem with the microphone there. We are indeed underway for qualifying.
Very, very good. Exciting stuff. Division 2 has a lot to live up to after Division 4, but I expect the very best from our drivers here. It's going to be an exciting race. Now, Carbonboy, tell me a little bit about the weather forecast for these guys tonight.
Yeah, let's just say the weather conditions tonight might be hostile.
Oh, now that sounds exciting. Do tell.
Well, I'm sure the drivers have experienced myself as a race director often enough to know that if I'm given a set of weather conditions, I'm going to make it as bad as possible. Now, but on the other hand, I also know that they know that. So maybe I've made it as nice as possible, just to try and keep them on their toes.
Keep them guessing. Treat them
exactly.
mean, keep them keen, as they often say.
Well, let's just say it's not exactly going to be clear blue skies and sunny.
Very good. That's what we love to see here. A big challenge for our drivers. Let's roll through our grid here while the drivers complete their outlet. First cab off the rank, Lunacy. Out the front for Black Rose Racing. Now, still in the championship fight is Lunacy. Had some good performances so far this season. A very, very quick operator, and has excellent pace almost everywhere at the moment. Black Friday for Red Mist in second car out on track at the moment. Has also had some promising results this season, but yet to really stamp his name on the championship. Dadson in P3 currently the leader on points in the standings. Now, Dadson, I'm fairly sure, was the season champion last season for Division 3. Is that right, Carbonboy?
You're testing my memory here. I'm not sure how you want to go about that.
I can't remember. I'm sure that he was, because I know he was promoted from the previous
Sorry,
division.
run this by me again.
So Dadson, did he win Division 3 last season?
He most definitely did.
Right. So he lacks the correct colour number, number colour. He lacks the correct coloured number on his livery. Because he's got a yellow number. He's supposed to have a purple number for a race, for a season champion. So
interesting.
Season champion last season and currently leading on points in Division 2. He's on track. Division 1 next season. Eat your heart out, Dadson.
I think he needs to get that purple number on the car ASAP. Maybe he hasn't got the purple number on the car because he doesn't want to jinx himself. Maybe he's the superstitious kind.
Well, I wonder if he had it on when he won last time out, where he struck gold, as it was stated in the social media post. Evil Evo for Doghouse Motorsport. Cruising for the Kung Fu Racing team, looking fantastic. Stickers in behind for Lightning Motorsport. Rocking a new livery and goes purple first time around. Fantastically done from Stickers.
Yeah,
Lays down the gauntlet early.
Stickers and Evil Evo are definitely two drivers to keep your eyes on tonight. Someone else to watch is Budsy, who has just raced in Division 3. Thoroughly beat yours truly by, 15, 16 seconds. He's currently sitting in P3. So
is Budsy a stand-in driver for ISA Esports?
He is indeed.
Right. And he's P3 off the bat. That's fantastic for him.
Yeah, I mean, I've raced against Budsy in both Sector 1 and some other leagues before, and he can definitely punch above his weight. So, good on him. I'm going to be barracking for him tonight.
Awesome to hear. ISA Esports represented up the top end there, and there is a Deeds car in front of him there in the form of Karen Unleashed. Now that is a new livery. I'm pretty confident for Karen there. Looks fantastic, just by the way. A very Kraken Esports style livery. Black and red.
I am looking at the black and red on the Deeds car, and I am suspecting that it may possibly be an Essendon Bombers AFL themed livery as a mark of respect for Ghost. I could be wrong, but that's the take I'm getting from it.
Well,
and we've got a couple of guys going into the pits here. Stickers and Budsy and Lunacy are all pitting, as well as Blind Man and, well, Stranger, Cruz, and the names keep rolling. They're all pitting in for a fresh shed of rubber, which I find interesting at the 5.5 minute mark. Kind of makes sense. It's about the time in qualifying you'd want to pit, but is it worth it?
we saw it a bit in race 1 tonight as well, but see if it comes back to help them later on. Karen's still on the lap here. Popped up to P6 last time around. Now,
okay.
Have a look through our drivers once again. Stickers out front, currently on provisional pole. Evil Evo sits P2 for now. Black Friday for Red Mist in P3. Budsy in ISA has dropped from P3 down to P4. Dadson currently sits P5. He'll be wanting to improve that. Karen in P6. Timderags P7 for Kung Fu Racing Team. Good spot right now. Lunacy for Black Rose currently in P8. He'll be wanting to improve that for sure. Race fan for CP Motorsports, rocking the FGT Elite livery on the side there. Blind Man for Hooncore. Sizzling Sausage for Black Rose, I think that is, running for the second time this evening after running in Division 4. Stranger, P12 for Doghouse Motorsports, Cruisin' for Kung Fu Racing Team in P13 for now, and Plumber for Kraken Esports, currently sitting P14. But it looks like a lot of these guys have made errors on their laps and will be set to improve on the next one. Stickers will begin first of his last 2 qualifying laps. Evil Evo just boxed for fresh tyres and will go around once before setting one final qualifying lap, I do believe. Black Friday also on an out lap. Datsun is also on an out lap, so he's boxed a bit late too. He'll get one more attempt, I think.
Karen has also boxed quite late and very respectfully moved out of the way of Cruisin', who was on a hot lap, and has also gotten out of the way of Blind Man. So it's good to see that guys who are out on their out lap are very mindful of drivers who were on their hot lap, and as competitive as people are, it's nice to see that, you know, you're not getting in the way.
Them's the rules, do not impede in quali, and great sportsmanship on display from our guys here. Aaron might be looking to pick up a toe further down the line. Now stickers.
Well, there is also that. There is also that strategy of, if I let him go past, I can sit in his slipstream and gain half a second.
The stickers is on to complete the first of his last 2 flying laps. Going through the final sector now. He's got a 2.5 tenth buffer, nearly 3 tenths for Evil Evo on time, but he's going to need to improve if he wants to secure this. But Evil Evo has no intention of relinquishing it to him. Goes a 10th purple, extends the lead by a margin. The Stranger up to 4th, Budsy up to P2.
Holy!
Unbelievable from Budsy. The ISA Esports car, the stand-in driver, is in P2 in Division 2.
I have concerns because I know that Budsy has had some hardware problems a couple of rounds back, and he's been getting by on a controller. Now that he has his new hardware, he's sitting P2 in a division higher than he races in. I have some genuine concerns for, you know, the division that I race in with him. Yeah. Div 3, take note, you're all in trouble.
It looks like it. This is a fantastic performance from Budsy so far. The other big one I want to talk about is the Stranger. He's currently P4. That's an awesome qualifying lap from him. 38.651. Just
who
over
is
4
this?
tenths behind Stickers.
Who's the Stranger filling in for?
Is he filling in?
Well, the Stranger's in Division 3, so I'd say so.
Division 3 is dominating Division 2. What is going on here?
Who's our Div 2 Doghouse driver? I should know this off the top of my head, and I don't. Patstar. Right, yes, there you go. So, hello, Dadson's in the gravel. That's not the racing line,
Checkered
mate.
flag is out too. Dadson is out. He's 6th and he's not going to improve. Unbelievable. Stickers has completed his final lap. Budsy has 2. Cruisin' does not pop into the top 8. Evil Evo will be 3rd. The Stranger remains 4th. No, Karen Unleashed goes to 4th. Drops the Stranger to 5th.
Wow.
Black Friday.
Blind Man, bang! P3. Thank you very much.
Wow, they're dropping in real quick at the end here. Blind Man relegates them 1 further. Goes P3.
And he's only 0.08 behind Budsy. But Stickers is quite clearly the fastest man on track at the moment. But people at home, don't discount Evil Evo, because I've watched enough of this guy to know that He's fairly strong in qualifying, but race pace is where he's at. He is mental in terms of banging out lap after lap after lap after lap within, a tenth of each other. So
Well, the big shock for
don't.
me is Lunacy. Not even in the top 10, I think.
Lunacy P11. Yeah.
That is a crazy result for him.
And Race Fan P12. That's
So Stickers takes pole position for Division 2 here at Autopolis with a fantastic lap. 38.223, which clears the Division 4 time by around 0.8 of a second. Budsy in P2 filling in for his ISA Esports teammate. 38.447. Fantastic work from him. Now, Carbonboy, tell me, how does that compare to the Division 3 qualifying time?
Good question. What am I looking at here?
So Budsy got a 38.447. Do you have any idea what time he set for the race prior?
I think it was about 0.2 slower.
So he's brought his A game for Division 2, it seems.
To be honest, I wasn't paying attention to what other drivers in my division were doing. I've been very short on time to practice this week. Most of my practice was in the hour and a half before the race tonight. So I was just concentrating on trying to hit apexes, and I'll be real, it wasn't happening all that often.
No, it's a difficult track to hit apexes on. The worst one, a lot of people would agree. But yeah, Budsy pulling out the A game when he comes to Division 2. Only racing for team points here. Him and the Stranger as well, P6 down there. Blind Man P3. Evil Evo in P4. Karen Unleashed P5. The Stranger in 6 standing in for Pat Star. Black Friday in P7. And Dadson in P8. He'll be disappointed with that qualifying, I think. Tim Durags in P9, Mr. Bumcrack P10, Lunacy in P11, Race Fan P12, Cruise in P13, and Sizzling Sausage, another fill-in driver in P14. A full grid, although 3 drivers missing out of the official standings here in Division 2. So how does that stack up compared to what you expected, Carbonboy?
Sorry, my head's in trying to set the grid at the moment.
Oh, we're doing a grid set. Okay. Well,
yes,
in that case,
yes.
We'll talk about what we're seeing here. So, the big shock of qualifying, of course, Lunacy and Race Fan down outside the top 10. So, it'll be interesting to see how these guys go about fighting their way through the pack, if they can. Because it looks like the remainder of Division 2 have a fair bit of pace in their back pocket that they can use to defend against these guys. Stickers out front is looking very, very fast here. I think the rest of Div 2 should be worried, and particularly, the likes of Blind Man and Evil Evo, they've got Budsy to contend with before they can even get close to Stickers. And they're not really racing Budsy because he's only here for team points. He's a stand-in driver for his teammate. So he's not part of their championship, but they're still going to have to pass him like any other driver. So that's going to provide a huge challenge for 2 of our championship protagonists. The Stranger as well, I'm excited to see how he fares from P6 there. 38.651. Very, very competitive time and definitely in the mix for this one here at Autopolis. Should be very exciting. Dadson's another one to watch as well. Took the win last time out. Currently leads the championship on points for Division 2. So he'll need to get a good result to re-secure that.
Sorry, yes. In order to accommodate the lovely little glitch that GT7 has introduced to us, we need to do a grid set.
It's, as we know, GT7 doing GT7 things. We'll have a look at the track map while we're hanging about for this one. So, as you can see on the details there, racing soft tyres, the only slick tyres available. Now, there is rain expected in this race. We can expect to see it in the later stages of the race. here at Autopolis. Very, very technical circuit. We saw it in Division 4, how tough it can be, but it's awesome for wheel-to-wheel through a lot of the sweeping corners. We saw lefts and rights being, one guy has the inside, which quickly becomes the outside, and it really changes the dynamic as the lap goes on. So, plenty of good racing to be expected here at Autopolis. I'm expecting chaos off the start.
Can confirm.
And Carbonboy concurs. So,
alrighty. My apologies. I cannot set a grid and do comms at the moment. It's been a very stressful week, and I'm doing the best I can. But should we punch this big red button? I haven't repainted it this week. I haven't had time. It is ready to go.
I think we do.
And
I think we get it cracking.
It is fantastic to see that the drivers familiarise themselves with the starting procedure that we have to get things going again so we can race. Everybody ticked in within 3 seconds of me rebooting the lobbies. So kudos to you guys. You've done a fantastic job. It makes me very happy as a race director. And let's get this party started.
Thank you to all our drivers for your patience while we work through the issues and all the things that come with racing on a video game. But here we are. We take to the grid. The drivers are lined up, staged up, stickers on pole. The lights are up, the lights are out, and away we go racing here at Autopolis. It's a good start from pole position, and everyone else looks like they're getting away well here too. Down to the first corner we will go. Deep on the brakes for the ISA car in the background there. They're 2 wide behind, 3 wide even further back. No one onto the grass though. It's fantastic racing up and down the field. The Kung Fu racing car you can see down the inside in the background. It looks like the Hooncorp car thinking about it on the ISA car here too. But Budsy holds on to the position around the outside on the way through turn 2 there.
Got to say, this is some very respectful racing through this sequence of corners. They're 3 wide and...
Ranger takes it back too. Brilliant stuff on the outside of a 3 wide battle.
They're all being very aware of what's going on around them and who is where. This is fantastic to see. I'm loving it.
This is textbook hard fair racing from these guys. Lunacy's have made a great start off the bat. It looks like Karen's just there and behind as well. Lost a bit of time off the start. Lunacy recovering to 8th after qualifying in 11th. Up 3 places already and still moving. Datsun up to 5th as well. He started in 8th. We've had a lot of chopping and changing in this grid, despite not really picking up on much of it. Budsy remains P2. Evil Evo and Blind Man not far behind.
Yep, the top 4 remaining as they are for now, but it looks to me like Stickers has every intention of just putting the hammer down and trying to bugger off while using Budsy as a bit of a blockade for Blind Man and Evil Evo behind him.
It's definitely best case scenario for Stickers right now. He'll be thinking about that all the way to the bank. The other question on everyone's lips will be strategy. Will these guys try to run the cars to halfway and then box for the inters, or do you pit early and run 2 stints on softs hoping to go through the rain for a couple of laps when it does come down? If it does come down, depends how strong it comes as well. We're expecting light rain to start and then to get heavier and heavier as the race goes on, but only around the halfway point, so the drivers definitely have to keep an eye out for that. Lunacy now on the back of Black Friday, the red mist car with a very, very bright rear wing. Will that distract the Black Rose car at all? It doesn't look like it. Through the sweeping left hand, and the dirty air is at its strongest through this corner, but well compensated for there by Lunacy as they head through there and up towards the hairpin.
Oh, Karen's on the grass. Hello. That's not the racing line, son.
Careful, Karen. There's not a lot of grip out there. He put all 4 tyres into the grass, did he?
Yes, it was on turn... Oh, let me count here. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7.
Karen's
turn
off
8.
again.
Oh,
he's off again at the exit of turn number. I don't know what that is, but it's a difficult corner to get right every time. He's in
can
the dirt.
confirm. It's a pain in the butt.
Tim Drags. Oh man, it's been a disastrous start for the bottom 3.
Oh, something must have gone on with Racefan and Tim, because they are a long way off the back. What? I've completely missed that.
Budsy steals fastest lap, closing the gap to Stickers. Budsy is really fighting hard in here. Look at this train of cars, though.
Wait. Can you just run that past me again? Budsy closing the gap to Stickers.
He has. He set a fastest second lap there. He's got the purple lap time, which suggests that he pulled time on that lap.
And he's purple again in that. Hey, Budsy, you're a great guy and all, but can you just bugger off out of Division 3 already? Wow.
Get the promotion you deserve, mate. Get after it. This is awesome driving from the Division 3 man.
He's
on board with Evil Evo.
He's pulling time on Blind Man too.
Increasing the gap. Looks like Stickers has managed to put the hammer down a little bit more this lap. Evo still close with Blind Man.
I am just having a look at the telemetry on these guys. In a few more laps, the fuel and tyre update might tell a bigger story on how these guys are going. Let's just say that.
Definitely be wanting to look at that a little bit later on. The fight is on for second, third, and fourth. It looks like Stickers is starting to clear a gap now. Budsy is falling into the clutches of Blind Man as we go around. Dadson's dropped a second on these guys. The Stranger is not far off him either. Black Friday with pressure from Lunacy and P8. This is a commanding drive from Lunacy. He needs it now.
Yep, he's going to take advantage of the slipstream down the straight. I don't think he's going to be close enough for a move into T1, but it's enough to bring him back into contention for that first sector.
Definitely going to help close the gap, put the pressure on. Black Friday will be watching his mirrors here for sure.
And that's a great way to it's a great way to distract the guy in front of you. You can get close to him in the first sector. You may not have any intention of passing, but he's going to be paying more attention to what's going on behind him than what's in front of him in that second sector, which is quite technical. So a little error in that second sector, and having experienced this not that long ago, you make one more small mistake in that second sector and you can kiss 4/10 of your lap time goodbye.
Very dangerous through there, makes all the difference. Just a slight mistake can do it. Lunacy still hounding the back of Black Friday. The pressure has never been greater on the Red Mist driver. Into that final sector that you were just talking about, where everything is essential. No room for slipping up.
And just keeping an eye back up a little bit further up the road, it appears that Budsy is maybe becoming the cork in the bottle with Blind Man and Evil Evo coming through the final corner onto the main straight. They've just closed the gap up a little bit. They've got a once. He's going to be rubbing his hands together when they're not on the wheel and just thinking, yep, just stay there, boys. They've managed to put a 1 second gap back to Dadson in P5, but it looks like Evil Evo and Blind Man, they're not pressing the point right now, but you can tell that they would really like to get past Budsy, but he's just driving his race. He's putting the car where he needs to on the track. Oh, he's gone a little bit wide into a sweeping left-hander.
Budsy is just doing enough right now. He's just being just erratic enough to make these guys second-guess themselves, just fast enough to make it difficult for them to overtake, and just defensive enough for them to have to think about left or right into every braking zone. It's a measure of justs right now for Budsy.
Yep, he's putting the car exactly where he wants to, and it's up to the two guys behind him to work with that. He's commanding this position right now, and full credit to him. Like, it's no mean feat to go a division above where you normally race and hold your own. So if I was wearing a hat, I would definitely take it off to him right now.
He's putting in a stellar performance right now. We're already probably going to see people nominating him for driver of the day this early, but it's a great run from him so far. Stickers is in heaven right now with the way this race is panning out. Dadson has come back into this fight as well. He's within a second of Evil Evo.
Yes, he has closed up that gap by 2/10 over the last lap. He's just looking at the rev counters, just trying to work out what each driver's doing. And I'm just looking at Evil Evo here. He's playing the long game. I don't think he's in any hurry whatsoever to overtake Blind Man. I think he is definitely playing the long game here. So he might be P4 now, but there's potential for that to change by 2 positions forward in the very near future, pending what happens with weather and other drivers' pit stops.
This is what we saw in race 1 tonight as well, the difference, the 1 stop and the 2 stop. If you're on a 1 stop, you can push a bit harder. You're only going 9 laps a stint. If you're on the 2 stop. If you're on the 1 stop, you're looking at 14 laps a stint, which means you have to conserve all the way, which might be what Evil Evo is doing right now.
Can confirm. In my race, myself was on the 1 stop, whereas another driver, Killer, was on the 2 stop. At the end of the 27th lap, Killer was 1.3 seconds behind me. By the end of the 28th lap, he was less than a 10th behind me.
Wow.
Yeah, that was that last lap was terrifying.
Yeah, that sounds like so much pressure. That sounds like more than we've seen all night. And there's been a lot of pressure being piled on tonight. Case in point, Evil Evo on Blind Man right now, very much the same thing. No one can let up here right now.
He's there, he's lurking, and with the weather conditions tonight, I'm sure drivers have practiced with the weather settings we have provided to them, but no one can be 100% sure exactly what's going to happen. They can only plan for various scenarios.
That's right. You can only select a range of weather. You can't really create the pattern that forms on the weather radar and comes in and actually drops rain on you. That is left up to the game. So there's always an element of chance in this stuff. Now, it's lap 7. Last time out, we saw pit stops on lap 9, as early as lap 9. What do you say we run through the field and have a quick APR Automotive tyre and fuel update?
That sounds pretty good to me. So in P1 right now is Stickers. He's doing really well with balancing the tyre wear on the front and the rear of the car. They're very, very even. But the left-hand side tyres are the ones I'm going to concentrate on. They have maybe 35% left on them, and he is probably sitting on just below 70% fuel. Not that far behind him, considering he's punching a division above his weight right now, is Budsy, who is probably maybe 71, 72% fuel, and you're probably not gonna believe me here, but he actually has better tyres than Stickers right now. His all 4 tyres are very evenly worn at about 35% left.
Honestly, at this point, there's not a lot Budsy could do to surprise me this race. He's having an absolutely stellar performance.
Yeah, let's just promote him to Div 2 and be done with it. You didn't hear it from me. Blind Man back in P3. He, on the other hand, is absolutely hammering those left-hand side tyres. The front one is screaming for mercy with maybe 10% left, as he's got Evil Evo doing a little bit of Morse code on the rear bumper there. And he's probably at about 65% fuel. Evil Evo, who, well, he is probably at about 20% on the front left tyre, maybe 30% on the rear left. He is a lot better for tyres than Blind Man, so I anticipate him going past in the slipstream down this straight. No, he goes into the pits. There we go. and you'll see his fuel numbers, so I won't really bother with that. Dadson is currently sitting in P4. He's looking really good on about 65% fuel, really even on the tyre wear. He's got about 30% left on that left-hand side. The Stranger also as a fill-in driver tonight. He is very equal on fuel and tyres to Dadson in front of him. And both of these guys are harassing Blind Man, who, as I mentioned earlier, he's got an absolute sliver left on that front left tyre. So he's going to be suffering horribly this lap in terms of lap times and tyre wear. Back in P6 is Black Friday, who's doing a relatively fantastic job on his fuel usage. He is probably at about 72% left in the tank. And he's doing also a great job on his tyre wear. He's got about 40% on the fronts, maybe 30 on the rears. A little bit further afield is the Plumber, who is probably 50% on the front tyres, probably about 30% on the rears, with about 60% fuel left in the tank. We're getting a bit gappy further back in the field, but Cruisin in P8 is sitting on about 20% left on the left-hand side tyres, with about 60% fuel left in the tank. Only 1.5 seconds further behind in P9 as Tim Durags chucks it down the inside and changes position. So in P9 is Tim's Durags. Probably a little bit under 60% fuel left in the tank. He's doing a fantastic job with his tyre wear. He's got about 50% left on the fronts, with about between 25 and 30% left on the rears. Okay, pit stops are absolutely throwing me completely out of whack right now. Where was I?
Probably Sizzling Sausage now, I would say. We've done Evil Evo because he's...
All right, yep. Sizzling Sausage back in P10 behind Evil Evo, who was already pitted, so that's going to work out well for Evil. He's on about just under 60% fuel. He's probably got about 15 to 20% tyres left on the left-hand side. Blind Man has already pitted, so we will skip past him. He's got a fresh set of soft. Doesn't look like he's taken on fuel, though. Race Fan is hot on his heels with an equal fuel scenario at about 55%. And he's got about 20% tyres left on the left, both front and rear on the left-hand side. The Lunacy has done an earlier pit stop by the looks of things. He's only got about 10% wear on his tyres, but he doesn't take in fuel, so he's probably going to chuck it down the inside of Race Fan here. And skipping back to P14 is Karen, who has about 65% fuel with a fresh set of racing soft tyres. My apologies for the chaos of that fuel and tyre update. It's kind of hard to keep track of them at the moment because there is so many strategies going on right now.
Timed it a bit poorly, but our leader is in. Stickers from P1 drops to P5 so far.
Speaking of leaders, I'd just like to do a special shout out right now. Currently P1, Budsy.
Budsy, the fill-in driver from Division 3, leads the way here in Division 2. An unreal performance so far this evening.
I wonder how much...
He can go do a one-stop here, probably, can't he?
Well, I wouldn't recommend it given that he's got less than 10% left on his front tyres and that left-hand rear. So I'm kind of wondering whether he's done any practice in the weather conditions for this particular division. And if he has, he might be onto something here, because looking at the forecast, there is tipped to be rain, so around the 2/3 mark of this race. So if he's going to go a slightly shorter than a halfway stint on his tyres, pit, chuck on a fresh set of rubber, and then go hammer and tong until he has to potentially put on tyres to cope for some wetter weather, he might be onto something here.
Budsy
But let's not...
extending the stint early.
he goes around again, and let's not discount right now Dadson P2 as he comes into the pits. I'll keep an eye on him. I want to see what tyres he puts on.
Well,
I'm just flicking through the drivers. I do think he will, because I'm skipping through the drivers, and thankfully one of them has the weather radar up for me, and there is currently no wet weather on the radar that I can see. That may change. We are only on lap 12.
the dead giveaway, if you're new to Gran Turismo 7, when it comes to telling if it's raining when you're watching or not. If it's starting to rain, the windshield wipers on the cars will start up, because they start up when they detect rain. Even the lightest rain, even rain that doesn't really affect your performance. So that's your dead giveaway that something is starting to change. So keeping an eye out for that is something you definitely want to do as a spectator.
But there are, as a driver, you do keep an eye on your wipers, depending on what camera view you choose to use. And you also keep an eye on that moisture meter on the left-hand side of your screen, of your telemetry. The wipers might be going, but if there's no moisture on track, you don't need the inters or even the wets. You can keep going on whatever tyres you happen to be running at the time.
Right. There's a bit of a threshold when it comes to how much moisture there can be on the track before the slick tyres become problematic. So sometimes it's a question of who's bravest to go that extra lap, or some might argue.
Oh, hello! Someone's had a moment. I've got a yellow flag, and I think it was.
I think he has
yep.
to the pits.
I think he has. He's got some damage. Had some damage to that front right and the front aero. Those left-hand side tyres were completely cooked. He's taken a little bit of fuel and a fresh set of tyres because that was fairly fair. Dadson and Race Fan are having a lovely little bit of ring dinger in P6 and P7. I was keeping an eye on the plumber earlier, but I appear to have lost him. He has pitted. That's why I lost him. Okay.
He
has pitted
himself behind lunacy now. I am getting so out of sync with these stops now. So hard to tell what everyone's done. So Dadson's just pitted end of lap 11 by the look of things.
Well, up front, we've got Black Friday, who's half a second ahead of Stickers. However, Black Friday is very, very conservative right now because his rear left tyre, it's on belts. There's no other way to describe it, as he's struggling right now through the final sector as Stickers just
insisting on driving to the rain. I think that's what's going on here.
Well, I'm having a look at the radar. Thank you, Evil Evo, for having the radar up for me so I can view it as Black Friday pits. And Evil Evo is in P2. He's within 1.3 seconds of Stickers, but he does have noticeably more worn tyres than Stickers. Stickers is on...
Stickers was one of the latest, wasn't he?
2-lap-old tyres, I would say. Whereas Evil Evo is probably on 4 or 5-lap-old tyres.
This is Sticker's 4th lap on the set. Headed into lap 10. If I'm correct. And then
I'll agree with that.
End of lap 8.
8 for Evil Evo.
Yep. 2 laps extra.
I guess it's all going to come down to what the weather does as to what happens with these two boys.
So I think a lot of guys are counting on the weather coming in. So it's an interesting the way that the weather changes how you treat the tyres, because when you got the slicks on and it's dry and you've got a multiplier on, the tyres only last so much. They last so many laps because they get hot as you drive, they wear. The inters and the wets, if you're driving on them in dry conditions, they'll burn up almost immediately. It's so soft because that's how they get the grip. But in the wet, when the track is wet, they simply do not wear. So you can drive them more or less forever without any sacrifice as long as the track is wet. So once the rain comes in, should the rain come in, you've got to be prepared to put your wet tyre on, whichever you choose, the inter or the wet, and run it to the end. Which means you have to account for fuel going to the end to have enough. You couldn't just do a no-stop in this race on wet tyres, assuming that the track was wet all the way. You would have to box for fuel, naturally. But if you can go far enough into the race before you pick for your wet tyres, you can potentially make it from there to the end of the race, even though the slick tyres in the dry might not make it that far in dry conditions. In the wet conditions, tyres last much, much longer. And on top of this, if it gets slightly wet and cools the track...
Sorry to interrupt. We've got a little bit of a cracking battle here between Lunacy and Dadson in P4 and P5. It doesn't look like Lunacy has pitted yet, judging by the state of his left-hand rear, whereas Dadson has, sends it down the inside, goes very deep. Lunacy takes the position back, and it looks like Dadson lost out by a good half a second with that miscalculated manoeuvre there. But what I did want to say was I'd like to give a bit of a special shout out to Lunacy and who's my other special driver right now? Blind Man and Lunacy, P3, P4 respectively, are the only two drivers on the grid tonight not running traction control.
Oh, wow. Now that's
Yes.
a big one.
Yes. Now, I took the advice of my Division 1 teammates tonight and very begrudgingly set traction control to 1, as I am not a fan of using traction control. So, yeah, special shout out to Blind Man and Lunacy for not using traction control. Kudos to you guys.
Big one. While we were having that conversation, Budsy has gone through on Dadson. The Stranger still sits P6 and is in this fight very much so, but Budsy up to P4 puts him in a very, very good spot for the remainder of the race. So, Stickers leads the way by 3.5 seconds. Pitted about the end of lap 10, so he'll be able to go to lap 20 should he need to on these tyres.
And big thank you goes to Doghouse and Evil Evo in particular for being the one driver that has the weather radar up that I can actually view. He's coming through the second last sector on lap 16, and I'm looking at his weather radar, and we are about to see some rain, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, we're past the halfway point in the race, so it had to come at some point. Something is on the horizon. I can see drops coming down. The wiper is on Evil Evo's car. He elects to go around again, as does Stickers. Who will blink first? Budsy's a bit further back. Dadson behind him. Now this is where it gets serious. What do they do?
Budsy goes.
Dadson goes.
Dadson goes. Stranger goes. Black Friday, what do you got?
These guys back themselves. Black Friday into the pits. That could be everything.
Tim Durags is going around again. Bumcrack going around again. Karen goes into the pits.
All right.
Sausage
now
goes around again.
This is crucial decision making for these guys.
Oh, Cruisin' and Race Fan. No, wait. Cruisin', Lunacy. Both go around again.
Race Fan again.
Race Fan. And goes around again. Bless you.
Thank you. Right. The rain is starting to come down. It looks very light at this stage, so I suspect these guys are going to make it round. But the likes of Dadson, they're playing with fire back here, you know. The big benefit for these guys, though, now that the rain is starting to slightly come down, the track is going to cool down a little bit, and that's going to reduce the wear on their tyres. Which means that should the rain ease up a little bit, their soft tyres will last considerably longer than they would have normally. even without a reduction in grip.
It is also noticeably drier in the... Well, as I say that, I was going to say it was noticeably drier in the final sector of the lap. However, the rain just started absolutely, censored word, pouring down in that last sector. I was about to say that. So, race director's curse has come in again.
Budsy and Dadson go around again. This is crazy. Stickers,
the moisture meter is slowly ticking up. It is getting dangerously close to that 1/3 mark where the non-intermediate tyres are very, very dangerous to be running around on. But so far it looks like everyone's willing to take the risk.
Well, I imagine our early stoppers who put on the intermediates last lap might be regretting their decision.
Well, the first of those runners is Black Friday in P12 at the moment, and I'm just going to skip back to Evil Evo so I can get an update on the weather. While we are in a little bit of a heavy patch right now, causing the drivers who are on the full racing slick to be a little bit cautious, they would know that, he's held that very well. He's gotten very sideways, but he's held it well. They are approaching on intermediate territory, but if they're looking at their radar as I am right now, they will see that the rain is not far off. So if he just holds it and stays very cautious as he is being right now in P2, he will be able to wait it out. He's probably down, Evil Evo is probably down to about just over 10% on that front left, but he'll be able to wait out the weather and be able to pit maybe lap 20, lap 21, chuck on a fresh set of softs and be able to go hell for leather for the finish. But will it be enough to close that 7.5 seconds to Stickers, who is much better off for tyres, who's probably on about 60% left on his tyres, taking it very
down a little bit. That track is so wet, I think.
It has just notched itself over into intermediate territory. But with the weather radar looking like it is, if you're not already on inters, I personally wouldn't bother.
So, one of the telltale giveaways on track for how much grip there is the cloud of mist that the cars send up behind them as they drive along. If they're sending up that jet spray off the back, as you're seeing there from Evil Evo, that's sort of the threshold for, is it wet enough for the wet tyres? But, as Carbonboy's saying, there's a chance that the weather is going to improve, and you may as well just stay on your tyres for a little while longer.
And as it is, Evil Evo's coming through the final sector right now on lap 19. And looking at his weather radar, thank you again, Doghouse, very much appreciated. We are right on the cusp. We have clear skies again, and there's no more rain as he's coming into the pits. Will he? I think he will just put on a fresh set of racing softs, give himself enough fuel to get to the end of the race, and call it done. But I would just like to put a special shout out right now to Buzzy and Stranger, the Div 3 fill-in guys, who are now currently P2 and P5 respectively. Fantastic effort, gentlemen.
Great to see these guys managing to get in here and throw their weight around a little bit.
Stranger chucks it down the inside of T1 of Evil Evo. Tim Durags gets involved as well. I don't think that was as clean as everybody would have liked it to be, but I don't think there was any major harm done. That probably is going to check up Evil Evo a little bit.
But the Stranger now acting like a bit of a cork in the bottle for Tim Durags and Evil Evo, who's just pitted a fresh soft to run to the end. into rags in this battle. Dropping Evil Evo off the back of Stranger. Evil Evo needs to make something happen here for the sake of his own race. Stickers out front with a 16-second lead. Very, very comfortable right now. Very much a carbon copy of what we saw from Snake Eyes in Division 4. A dominant display so far. And one of the lower drivers coming in. Race Fan getting off the intermediates. And presumably putting back on some soft tyres. Now Lunacy, just checking in on him. For Black Rose, just down in P9 at the moment. We expected big things from Lunacy tonight. Unfortunately, qualifying did not go his way. Looks like as the race goes on, it just becomes less and less likely that he'll be able to salvage a good result.
I am currently sitting on board with Evil Evo as he sends it down the inside of both Durags and Stranger at T1. And that was a beautiful 2-for-1 maneuver. Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Oh, love to see that. There was no animosity. That was pure intention. I am going down the inside. Stranger did run a little bit wide. He is suffering for tyres a little bit compared to Evil and Durag. Sorry, I've...
So, now is Durags in track position here? In terms of pit stops, does he owe another stop?
I'm looking at his tyre wear and his fuel usage. Fuel, he's probably borderline to make it to the end. Tyre wear, he'll make it to the end, but he does need to look after them. However, Evil Evo in front of him has probably 5% less fuel, or probably about pardon me, bit of a moment there. He's probably got about 30% fuel left in the tank, but he's got a brand spanking new set of racing soft tyres, so...
I wonder if it's to do with the rain that came down.
I get the feeling Evil Evo, he knows his fuel numbers. He's not an idiot. I've seen him do this before. I've seen the amount of fuel he has on board and be like, nah, he can't make it to the end. He's going to have to conserve. And then he just goes out and proves me to be an absolute idiot. So I'm taking that on board. And I'll have faith in him that he knows what he's doing. He's got fresh tyres. He's going hammer and tong. And that 12-second gap that is currently between him and Dadson in P3, that's going to come down very, very rapidly because Dadson's only a couple of percent better on fuel to him, but he's on 50% worn tyres. But then there's Budsy, who's in P2 at the moment. He's got just over a quarter of a tank of fuel. That should see him to the end if he looks after it. And he's got tyres that are maybe 30% worn on the front, or let's say 40, and maybe 50% worn on the rear, but he can see it home from here, so we're potentially looking at a Div 3 driver finishing P2.
What a story that would be for Budsy and ISA Esports, the fill-in driver, scoring massive team points.
Hello.
ISA.
As I say that, I'm looking at stickers. He does have a 15-second gap to Budsy. However, he's just hit the fuel light on lap 23. He's not going to make it to the end.
And that's stickers you're talking about, right?
100%. That is stickers. P1, who is currently 15 seconds in front of Budsy in P2, has hit the fuel light on lap 23 of lap 28. His tyres, yeah, they're about 40% on the front, maybe 25% on the rear. If you babied them, you could get them home. But fuel, you're not making 5.5 laps on the fuel light. It ain't happening.
There's only so far you can stretch your fuel on a racetrack. The stickers will be conserving and bringing it in now. And if Budsy can go all the way to the end, puts him in the prime position here. Get this
So if I was Stickers, I'd be chucking it in the pits at the end of this lap, bugger the tyres, chuck in enough fuel to get to the end, but... Oh, this is throwing a massive spanner in the works.
Stickers goes around
Stickers...
again.
Wow. Wow.
Braves it
Okay.
for one more. He might be counting on the rain. It is foggy and the rain's coming down. The wipers are on. This changes everything. What are we looking at?
Thank you to the Doghouse boys for putting the weather radar up for me. I'm not sure if this is going to be enough for Stickers. We're in a light blue patch at the moment, so it's only a little sprinkle. There's nothing on the moisture meter for Evil Evo going through the first sector, and he's almost out of the rain bank. So, and he's purple. Okay, I'm genuinely at a loss here. What's going to happen?
It's all going to come down to this. At the end of this lap, there will be 4 remaining, and it looks like Stickers is going to have to pit in at the end of this one. The rain is coming and going.
Stickers is definitely going to have to pit at the end of this lap. There's no doubt about it. He's got maybe...
Dropping time too, look at that.
He's maybe got 3% fuel left. There is no chance that he's going to do another 4 and a bit laps on the fuel that he's got. It's not going to happen.
Is now in third too. This could turn into another great result for Dadson here.
Dadson does have a good record at Autopolis from memory.
Because is in. Does he put the intermediates on? Surely not.
Stickers, if you're listening, would not recommend it.
Dadson goes to P2. Fuel going in for Stickers. He's not going to need much, but he's going to need some. He puts the intermediates on. Stickers put the intermediate tyres on. Does he know something we don't? And Stickers throwing this race away. Evil Evo's going to go through on the inside down to turn 2. Lack of grip for Stickers. Lunacy into the pits.
I'll keep an eye on what Lunacy puts on. He's on a very toasted set of softs.
Sizzling Sausage P9, the spill-in driver. He's up to P8 now. Intermediates on for Lunacy. Something is in the water. Or more accurately, water is in the sky. The 2 Black Rose cars now together on track. Round the outside for Lunacy. Stays ahead. The Kung Fu car goes through on Sizzling Sausage. Budsy leads from Dadson. Not far to go now. Lunacy drops behind Cruisin. It's great running from Cruisin. The rain is pouring down. Something is going on. It's crazy scenes now. Budsy leads the way with slick tyres on. Is he going to have to stop for inters?
Here comes the rain
It
again.
poured for a second there and then it stopped. I don't
Falling
know what's
on my
going
head
on.
like a memory. Wow. Okay.
Is Budsy
This,
coming in? Budsy is coming in. The rain must be coming. What's Dadson going to do? He comes in as well. It looks like Stickers might take the lead. Although he was slow on that lap because he didn't need the inters just yet. The fuel
Evil
cost
Evo
him.
into P1. He's
on the
the
inters?
brave man. No,
Is he on
he's on the
slicks?
racing softs. He's on the softs.
Tim Durags too.
Tim Durags is also on the softs, albeit a lot more worn than Evil Evo. I've
Trying to run to the
actually,
end. There's 3 laps to go here.
I think both Evil Evo and Tim Durags have just said, bugger it, we're going to send it, and whatever
Yes.
happens, happens.
Windshield
I
wipers
mean-
on for Evil Evo. I don't
I
see
mean,
any
looking
rain,
at
though.
looking at the moisture meter, Thank you again to the doghouse for letting the weather radar stay up for me. I can see that we're in some very light rain at the moment. There's no heavy patches coming right now. Evil Evo's got maybe 60% left on his tyres on the racing softs. He's a little bit on
race one.
He's a little bit on the low side for fuel at about maybe 15%, a little bit under. But he's got 2 and a little bit of laps to go. Tim Durags is a lot better for fuel, but a lot worse off for tyres. That left-hand rear of Tim Durags it's got 5% left on it, if you're lucky.
Mr. Bumcrack in third as well. Look at this.
He's got maybe 20% fuel left, maybe 10% on that left-hand rear. But I think he's on the, bugger it, I'm just going to send it
There's
as
the rain.
is.
The rain's coming down.
Strategy.
Look at this. It's pouring. When it rains, it pours. It should have been this lap for the slick runners, maybe.
It's touch and go. It is that tiny little patch of heavy rain.
Blind Man goes through to fourth, ahead of Stickers. So quickly run us through, Carbonboy. Who's on what tyre in order?
All right, Evil Evo P1 is on the racing soft. He's also on the fuel light. Tim Durags P2 racing softs. Bumcrack P3 racing softs. P4 Blind Man racing softs. P5 Stickers on the inters. I don't know if that's going to work for him or not. I don't know if it's wet enough. P6 Budsy is also on the inters and he's hanging on Stickers bumpers. He's not going away. A little bit further back, Dadson. P7, he's on the inters. P8 Cruisin is on the racing softs. Cruisin has done really, really well, actually. He's just been a solid performer tonight. He's flown under the radar. He stayed thereabouts. He stayed out of trouble. He's run his race. He's finished in the top 10. The Stranger has just gone past Lunacy. Stranger is on the racing soft tyres. I've lost the description for it, but he's braving on the racing softs. Karen has just sent it down the inside of Lunacy, also on the racing softs to take P10. Lunacy is on some rather worn inters. He's having a lot of...
and he's off! Look at that!
Oh,
my
and
goodness!
Sizzling Sausage is on a well-cooked set of softs. Black Friday P13 is on the fuel light and on some relatively fresh set of racing softs, but he's just taking it very easy. He knows how wet it is and he knows what tyres he's on. He's not an idiot. And Race Fan, who has not had the greatest of nights, to be honest, is on some racing softs as well in P14.
All right, we're checking
and
with
we're
our
on the
leader. Evil Evo
final
is
lap.
on lap number 28. He's halfway through the lap. There is not far to go. Now, anything could change still in this race. We don't know what the weather's showing us right now, but all it would take is a seriously heavy patch of rain and the guys on the slick tyres would just not be able to stop into a braking zone, and it could make all the difference, and that'll be what Stickers and Budsy are praying for right now, but it's only so many corners to go.
Spoiler alert, no more rain.
No rain on the radar. Evil Evo might just cruise to a win here with 5 seconds to his name ahead of Tim Durags. Tim Durags, an awesome result for him as well. Through the final corner, Evil Evo is super stoked with this result. A win in Division 2 here at Autopolis. Does the strategy to perfection. Tim Durags with an astonishing P2 there. Mr. Bumcrack in P3 ahead of Blind Man in 4th for Home Corp. What a change it made to the standings in the late stages. Stickers in P5 and Budsy, unfortunately, P6. After such a good performance so far this race. Dadson P7, Cruisin P8, a great result for him from so far back. The Stranger in P9 with pressure from Karen. Will come around to claim it. 9th for the Stranger, 10th for Karen. Sizzling Sausage 11th. He's ahead of Black Friday now, who's taken on Lunacy around the outside in the last corner. We missed the move, but it sounds like it was amazing. And Race Fan will be P14. We won't be happy with that result. But really, when the conditions are like that, how can you complain? No one could have predicted this. Some drivers committed to the intermediates early and came back to bite them. It all came to a climax at the end, as it always does.
Well, as a race director, I knew what the weather conditions were going to be like, and I'm still sitting here astounded as to what happened tonight.
Yeah, it's going around. It's been one of those nights. So unpredictable, and that's just kind of the way the weather goes in Gran Turismo 7. So, a look at our results. Unexpected and unknown. Evil Evo 9 takes the win ahead of Tim Durags and Mr. Bumcrack, who rounds out the podium. Blind Man in 4th claims the fastest lap as well, which is a extra point for Hooncorp there and for him. Stickers in P5 after leading the entire race. He'll be so disappointed to drop down in the late stages. He tried to play it safe, and unfortunately it backfired on him. Budsy in the same boat could have got the win there because of that blunder, but unfortunately 6th place for him. Dadson in 7th, 8th for Cruisin, Stranger in 9th, and Karen rounds out the top 10. Sausage 11th, Black Friday in 12th, Lunacy 13th, and Race Fan a dejected 14th down at the bottom of the field. Carbonboy, your thoughts?
Well, I don't normally do this. I don't normally give my Driver of the Day nomination to the winner. I'm going to go against that tonight. I'm giving my Driver of the Day nomination to Evil Evo. That was an absolutely sensational drive.
I think you're definitely on the money there.
He sat back and just waited. He played the long game absolutely brilliantly. So he was sitting back in, I think in the first third of the race, he was sitting back in P4. He sat back. He knew what he wanted to do. He had an idea of what was going to happen with the weather, and he played it beautifully.
Yeah,
so
it was definitely the right strategy call. I'd have to say same goes for Tim Durags. Some word in the chat. Tim Durags qualified in 9th, finished in 2nd. Made that correct strategy call to stay out on the softs. And
can confirm. Definitely qualified P9.
What a strategy call it was. All the top 4 sort of same boat there. Budsy gets a big tick of approval for me as well, coming up from the division below. Be P6 in this division. No mean feat. The Stranger was on a really awesome result as well, and I think he got caught out by the weather in the late stages too. But another one who performed really, really well. And Sizzling Sausage as well managed to beat 3 Division 2 drivers. So, that's an awesome result for a fill-in driver as well. So, that's at least 4 people, I think, who could deservedly say they could get Driver of the Day. So, leave your votes in the chat for this evening of who you think would be Driver of the Day. Don't forget, if you are new, please subscribe to the Sector 1 Sim Racing YouTube channel for more videos every Sunday, broadcasting our main series, and every second Thursday for the community series as well. Join the Discord in the chat, in the description rather, if you haven't already. If you want to get involved and join the community series and make your way into the main game, that's the way to do it. Keep an eye out as well when this video goes live for the link in the description for the GoFundMe for Sean. We definitely want as many people to get involved in that as possible. It's definitely really good cause and something very close to the heart of Sector 1. Thank you for your work tonight, Carbonboy. Fantastic call as always. A pleasure to have you in the box with me.
It's been fun as always, Adam.
Good stuff. We will sign off for now. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like the stream if you have enjoyed the broadcast, and it'll help us out and get us higher in the algorithm. So more people who want to discover this stuff do discover this stuff. Subscribe if you're new. Ring that notification bell if you want to be notified when we go live, because we do go live fairly often. And we will see you for the next round, round number 7 for the season. That is it from us tonight. We will see you again very soon. Goodbye.